The moon that fell for the star. I don't really know what this means yet, but I have a feeling we're going to find out. Anyways, you guys, welcome back to another Team Anpim game. If you don't know who Team Anpim is, I played quite a few of theirs on this channel. They are all Yuri games. I don't really play a lot of Yuri games, but I do enjoy them. Especially Team Anpim's, they're pretty short. They're definitely ones you can finish in one sitting, which makes them really enjoyable for me. I tend to play a lot of games that take many episodes to finish, so I like sometimes switching it up and playing something that I can digest in a single morning. And this is definitely going to be one of those. So we're going to go ahead and start. I don't really know too much about the story here, so we're going to find out. Flip through the magazine on the table as my coworker changes out of her uniform ready to head home for the night. She's working at 12. I'm assuming this is supposed to be a parody of 7-Eleven. I like it because it's always supposed to be like maybe an American setting, but it always has like Japanese elements to it. So I'm never sure where exactly I am. Her earring gets caught in her shirt and she swears up a storm. Swearing is crass for an 18-year-old that just graduated high school, but I guess they're built different nowadays. Less filtered. I skim through the pages of photos and text when an expose spread catches my attention with its big, bold, and bright letters accompanying a cute girl's face. Up-and-coming idol climbing the ladder through under the table method. Caught leaving hotel with known producer. First scandal is Constellation's leader, Polaris canceled. The paparazzi photo blown up to the whole page shows the idol entering a taxi with a man following close behind. Labored over the paparazzi photo is the idol in question's cute headshot where she's seen smiling, a picture-perfect smile, which contrasts the unfortunate event. Sanen desune. That's the idol life for you, huh? Having paparazzi follow you everywhere. The coworker leans over me and surveys what I'm reading. She probably slept with that guy to earn a favor or something. But she should have known to be more careful. Being an idol always means being in the spotlight for every move of yours being followed. She totally should have seen this coming. You practically can't do anything as an idol. I study the idol's photo and begin to wonder just what goes on behind that flawless smile. I shrug. Couldn't be me. And I think you could totally be an idol, the cool type. Love singing, don't you? You killed it at the karaoke get-together last month. I scoff exaggeratedly at her ridiculous comment. Doesn't mean I should be an idol. I lean back and stare at her with a skeptical face. I just like going to the karaoke box. That's all. Though you should totally try. I know she's joking, but I can't help but think she's also serious at the same time. No one wants to be a washed-up 24-year-old. That's considered a hag in the idol world, isn't it? Don't they start off really young or something? No, there's plenty of older idols. Or if not an idol, you can be a pop star of some sort. I don't know, just a regular singer. Yeah, whatever. Sticks her tongue out in a disappointed manner and makes her way towards the door. Alright, Yoko-chan and I are gonna head out. Don't work too hard. I close the magazine and follow her outside to the front of the convenience store where it's quiet and empty as my wallet. Team Anpim, this is too real for me. You can't be doing this. I mean, my wallet, fortunately, is not empty right now. That's only because I get tips at work. Only reason. Alright, all is set, ready to head out. Sora? Yep. The young two part-timers bid their farewell to me and Yoko teases me one last time. Surprised you haven't encountered any ghosts visiting at 3 a.m. yet. Oh, and you work night shift? I'm sorry. I did night shift one time in my life, and it was absolutely awful. There have been countless stories of strange things happening at that time. Oh, shut up, will you? She cackles away as she saunters out the door, but I didn't find it funny at all. Don't want her jinxing anything. Sheesh. The clock on the point of sale terminal reads 10:30 p.m. and I position myself at the counter, about to begin my NPC duties. Once again, too real. Whoever makes these has to have some kind of NPC job, because this is too in the know about how it is. Now that the two have departed, I'm only accompanied by the light hum of the fridges in the store. I never asked to do graveyard shifts, so I was forced to since the other chick got fired for arguing with the customer. I think she was aiming to be a model but couldn't land any gigs, so she had to work here to get by. Honestly, if I had to guess, I think that at least somebody who works on these works at a coffee shop, because obviously they made a game that like was centered around a coffee shop and it was really good. So I could see the writer having worked a few different jobs, like having experience. Too bad, she was very cute too, but her leaving wasn't cute, as now I'm struck with working with ungodly hours into the night. It's only been a week, but I don't think my sleep schedule's ever going to adjust. Oh, doing night shift, it takes a while, and you just hate yourself the entire time because you're not meant to be doing that. Like your body has a circadian rhythm, and being up all night just goes against everything that you've ever taught your body to do. Stifle a big yawn and await the long night that's ahead of me. Digital numbers on the screen now reads 3:05 a.m. Just as expected, only a few handful of customers had come by within the past 6 hours. Tried to hold back yet another yawn, but to no avail. It escapes me just like how I want to escape this place right now. At least no one from management is here to point out my bad manners for yawning out loud. I blink my eyes dry to keep them open and alert, but something else jolts the alarm system in my body instead. The ring of the automatic doorbell resonates through my ears, and a figure walks into the store. Oh no, you're gonna make me speak Japanese. That's what I'm saying, this... I can't tell if we're in America or Japan. I guess the background looks like it's Japanese. And then she has kind of a Japanese name tag. Irashaimase. My greeting was loud and clear, but it trails off as I begin to study the suspicious-looking character. Ooh, are we gonna date an idol? Despite it being the peak of summer, the person's wearing a baseball cap under the hood of their hoodie, all under a knee-length jacket. Their face shows virtually no sign of skin whatsoever. A pair of big sunglasses and a mask covering it all. They're essentially covered from head to toe. Heck, is it even a person? Suddenly I get the shivers down my spine. They do say that 3 a.m. is when strange things start, right? Could this be? There's no way that Sora's right. Now that I study them closely, they look just like a normal person dressed for the wrong weather. Keep my eyes on the customer as they walk around perusing the shelves. I'd be worried about them robbing the store, honestly. Not even them just being weird. I feel like this would be someone who's about to rob me. Continue walking up and down the aisles as if they're unsure of what to buy. Might just be a strange customer, but I keep my guard up anyways. Please let this just be a weirdo who has a rare immunity to the heat or something. They're a vampire. They can stop at the cold food section and grab an onigiri alongside a bottle of Cola Zero from the fridge. The posture straightens up as they walk up to the counter, and I feel myself take a big gulp as they approach. Please let them be normal. The customer gently drops the tuna onigiri and bottle of pop on the counter. Do you have a points card with us? Mystery figure shakes their head. Put on my customer service smile like all is right in the world and ring up their items. Total comes to 600 yen. How would you like to pay? Without even a word or a nod, they drop the cash into the tray. The hand that reaches out to the cash tray is one that seems small and slender with outgrown painted nails. Seeing somewhat normal-looking hands helps me relax a bit. I was hoping they'd say something, but it seems they're more on the quiet side. Whatever. I've just got to get them out of here as fast as possible. Once the transaction is done, they briskly take their leave into the dark night, just as I wished for. I subconsciously shiver once more, hoping again they didn't place a curse on me or anything. I blame Sora for putting these strange thoughts in my head. Screw her. Luckily for the next few remaining hours of my shift, there aren't any more customers or weird happenings. Just the usual. And with that, somehow I survived another long night. But that was the thing I hated about night shift, though. It's you're so tired from working all night, but then when you get to the morning, your body feels like it should be getting up and doing things. So it's you can't sleep. It's you just sit there tired as heck, but you cannot fall asleep. Night shift sucks. Don't do night shift. Thank you. Come again. I drop my customer service smile and stifle my 100th yawn, slapping my cheeks to snap out of the sleepiness. Once again, stuck in the empty convenience store alone at ungodly hours. Oh, I'm sorry. I just totally skipped that. At 3 a.m. years again, I'm reminded of the strange encounter last night. Really hope nothing else happens tonight during that hour. Then again, it's not like the person was a ghost or anything. I think. Could have looked scarier. Though wearing that many layers in the summer seems quite scary. I need to stop playing Sheila's art games and to stop listening to whatever horror story Sora feeds me. Doesn't help that she made me play the stupid horror convenience store game recently either. It's not like I expected to be working graveyard shifts. Lean back against the counter behind me and close my eyes for a little bit. Probably won't be another customer for another 2 hours, so I take a quick nap while I can take a quick nap while standing up, right? The rest gets cut short when the door chime rings loud and clear, creating an echo in the empty store. I jolt and stand up straight, ready to greet the customer. Irashaimase. I try to upkeep my smile, but I can't falter when I see the same mysterious figure clad in the exact same outfit. They ignore me and head straight to the cold food section where they pick up the same tuna onigiri, a bottle of Cola Zero they bought yesterday. I do the same thing when I'm at work. I get the same exact thing every single time. I get made fun of a little bit. Not even so much as looking at the other products, they walk straight to the counter and hand over the goods. Say my usual line that's been ingrained in my head for however long I've worked here for. Give a points card with this. Another shake of their head exactly like yesterday. Like clockwork, I ring up the items like I do for any other customer. However, I take a closer look at the hoodie-clad stranger. As expected, I can't make out any features due to the huge sunglasses and face mask, but underneath their baseball cap, I see a little bit of brown bangs peeking out. A little checkout session ends up abruptly as they turn their face and away immediately, signaling that I probably looked for a second too long. Nonchalantly go back to my duties and pretend nothing happened. Total comes to 600 yen. How would you like to pay? They fumble with their wallet, and again I see the outgrown painted red nails. The hands of the mysterious entity are small and mostly hidden underneath the long sleeves of the oversized jacket. Now that I notice the small hands, I've come to notice their small frame too, especially under all that baggy clothing. They drop the coins in the coin tray and I continue on with the transaction. Should I strike up some small talk? Not even taking the receipt, they speed out the door without giving me as much of a chance to talk about the weather. Must be in a hurry. Maybe it's for the better I don't talk. They might be someone that's bad news or something. Okay, my experience from the previous Teen Anpim stories is that the girl always goes for the person that's bad news, okay? They always go for the girl that's a little bit of a troublemaker. So, if she's bad news, you know what? You're gonna go for her. Just how are they wearing so many layers in this heat? You should don't care about anyone like this. As I see customers go in and out every day, there's something magnetic about them I can't shake off. Like they have some sort of power that draws attention to them, despite dressing inconspicuously. I guess they aren't so inconspicuous as if they're dressed like they belong in the North Pole. What do I care? Not my problem. Door chimes company with a big group of what seems to be foreigners speaking English, holding up cameras and talking loudly, shaking up my thoughts. Are they Me-tubers? I don't know why. I've never heard someone like parody YouTube as Me-tubers. That's good. Actually, might be scarier than the customer just now. I forgot all the English I've learned in those few years in high school. The customers are customers. Irashaimase. Thankfully, the rest of the night was peaceful without any more weird happenings, which is just how I like it. I was only asked to do these graveyard shifts for a total of 2 weeks, so hopefully after next week I can go back to my normal schedule. Oh, okay, you're just doing like a temporary thing. That would be like the worst 2 weeks of your life, though. The next night. Another day, another dollar. That's what I have to tell myself. Or rather, another night, another shift of sleepiness I have to fight. Oh, I pick up the fallen bag of chips on the shelf and I place it back up right how it should be. Then I continue down the aisle looking for more misplaced items and spy a box of Pocky in the wrong spot. Star employee that I am, I return to the section it should be in. I heard my weariness tonight. I decided to keep myself busy and clean up the store, but I pretty much fixed every crooked bag of chip bag and wiped every dirty surface. Do one more check in this section before heading back to my post behind the counter. Just one more hour. Speaking of, it's 4 a.m. and the winter-clad visitor has yet to come today. Sad. Thinking of making small talk since to be the third time they've come around. Pretty much starts counting as a regular customer, right? Oh well. Around the shelf's corner, bump into the jutting shelf of cup ramen. Oh god, I'm so out of it, I can barely steer clear of obstacles. I put back the fallen cups of ramen, the all too familiar door chime rings loudly in my ear. Irashaima. Then a split second I'm grabbed a hold of and shaken. Freeze in place in a stun lock when I take a look at who's manhandling me. I see the oh-so-recognizable jacket, hat, sunglasses, and mask. Please, hide me. The unexpected female voice throws me off guard. My brain is still struggling to grasp the situation as hand. Huh? Hide me. I give a what the hell look, but she's insistent. She takes off her sunglasses and pulls down her mask, revealing the sincerity of the fear and desperation in her face. Please. Her head whips around, looking outside the window. Eyes continue giving the attacker a baffled look, thinking she's crazy with the desperation in her face and voice rings of alarm in me. My eyes dart around, looking for a quick place where I can hide her. I grab her hand and usher her quickly behind the counter, pushing her down to a crouching position so that she's hidden from view. Just a few moments later, two men holding big cameras. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit dyslexic lately. I've been mixing up words constantly. Rushing into the store, looking around frantically. The curled up girl puts a finger to her lips and gestures for me to stay quiet. Rashaimase. Half of my brain is still unfunctional due to being suddenly thrown into some wild scenario. Then ignore me and begin searching for the aisles. I swear she ran in here. Well, she's clearly not here, you dumbass. It'd be a dead end if she ran into her anyways. Is there something I can help you with, dear customers? They look at me briefly, and then one of them replies meekly. No, sorry for the intrusion. Gone, she couldn't have gotten far. Let's keep looking elsewhere. Just as fast as they stormed in, they run out in search of who I assume is sitting right next to my feet. I wait until they're gone for sure, then check up on the little damsel in distress. The runaway fugitive is balled up, shivering with wide, fearful eyes, and her hands over her mouth, as if just one exhale would have given her hiding spot away. Her long hair under her cap is disheveled, with strands all astray and bunched up under the hoodie. They're gone now. I coax the girl to get up, but she stays there, now burrowing her head in her pulled-up knees. She starts sniffling, and all I can do is stand there and watch her. I'm so bad at comforting people. I rub my neck out of nervousness and try to figure out what to say. Are you okay? No reply. What the hell do I say in this kind of situation? A good 2 minutes of silence pass. I look down to find her still crying into her knees. So I walk out from behind the counter looking for her favorite food combo that she always buys. Maybe they'll cheer her up if words can't. I'll pay for her later. Kneel down to her level and hand her the tuna onigiri and Cola Zero. Here. I nudge the food on her arm to get her full attention. Her head springs up, showing her puffy and red tear-ridden face. The girl looks at the foodstuffs and then at me. I point the onigiri at her, encouraging her to take it. She cautiously takes the unpaid food out of my hands and holds it close to her. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Probably. Okay, how is it gonna be okay? They know where I live now. I can't go back home. I have nowhere else to go, and I can't be in public right now. A sudden outburst takes me back, as if I just got yelled at by my parents. We stare at each other for a moment, then she continues sobbing into her knees again, all while still holding her onigiri. How do I stop her from crying? I'm so uncomfortable, but I hate seeing girls cry. Her sobs are now more audible now, and I pray to God that no one enters the store. I can't deal with a crying girl and a customer at the same time. This was not part of my job description. Out of desperation to get her to stop bawling, I try to help her with a half-thought-through solution. If you don't have a place to go, you can crash at my place. The crybaby goes quiet, and her sobbing hiccups fill the silence. It takes a few minutes before replying with her bloodshot yet striking pair of eyes. Do you live alone? What a weird question. Yeah, why? Well, the more people that know where I am, the more of a liability it is. Geez, just who are you? Her purple wine eyes open wide and pierce through mine, as if I said something ridiculous. You don't know who I am. You're the girl that comes out in godly hours wearing winter clothing at the height of summer and only buys a single tone onigiri with a cola soda. Somehow, that makes her face brighten up. You don't know who I am! I give her a weird stare, starting to debate whether or not I should retract my offer. Let me stay with you, please. Her hands lash onto my shoulders once again and grip them tightly. Her eyes burn into me, making me feel like my choice of answer is either yes or yes. I break from her gaze and look to the side, trying to utter a no, but her captivating aura swallows me whole. Yeah, that's why I offered, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She hugs me tightly, catching me off guard once again, and I feel her powerful embrace with her wet face against my cheek. Awkwardly push her away to gain my personal bubble. Ahem. Fix my wrinkled sleeves caused by her death grip earlier. Okay. I can let you stay at my place for the night, but I can't let you stay behind the counter any longer. My coworker sees this, I'd have a lot of explaining to do. I also have to change and get ready to punch out. Wait, your coworker? Yeah, she'll be arriving anytime soon. In a flash, she tightens up her hoodie and dons her sunglasses and mask. I can't be seen. I'm gonna hide at the hot water bar at the back. Let me know when you're finished with your shift. As if on cue, my coworker comes in and heads straight to the staff room after a brief greeting. Otsukare. Otsukare. Lots of Japanese words I don't know. The writer must have, like, know some Japanese, or maybe they visited Japan. My wife went to Japan, and now she doesn't want to live here in America anymore. She went to Japan one time, and now all she wants to do is go back to Japan. So I'm like, okay, we'll have to go at some point. She got like an all expenses paid for trip by her mom, so that's how she was able to go. Hooded girl shrinks away to the self-service area of the store, hoping to get away from my coworker's line of sight. My eyes wander the strange girl now situated at the back, eating the onigiri that she ended up paying for. She wants to stay inconspicuous, but her outfit makes her stand out even more. Kind of true, but it's like, obviously she's someone who doesn't want to be seen, so if she doesn't wear it, she'll look even more out of place. Kind of can't help but snicker at how dumb she looks. She's lucky it's air conditioned in here. Counting down the minutes until I can leave because I'm exhausted, but at the same time I want to drag each minute to drag out because soon I'll have to be living with a temporary roommate. Once I change out of my uniform and pack my stuff, I step out of the sliding doors in the convenience store right behind me as my new roomie. Is that like a common thing in Japan, like changing outfits while at work? Because like here in America, it's like you just wear your uniform into work. Like usually you'll have like some piece of it that you can take on and off, so you have like a standard uniform, and then you'll have like an apron or something that's like your work uniform, you know? You don't generally like change your entire outfit per se, because that'd be kind of weird to do at work. I don't know, like I wouldn't feel comfortable like stripping down at the place I work. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Once I change out of uniform, pack my stuff, I step out of the sliding doors of the convenience store, and right behind me is my new roomie. Ready? Yeah, but please hurry. How far is your place? Geez, I'm letting you in my place and you got the gall to boss me around. Sorry, there's gonna be more people on the streets soon. Be about a 10-minute walk. You okay with that? Yes, now, please, let's go. Okay, chill, will ya? I feel like she could take the time to explain, like, hey, sorry, like, I don't want people seeing me. You know, maybe explain it smart. Ojamashimasu. I lock my door as the girl advances through the little kitchen hallway into the living space. She sprays the place and takes a peek at every nook and cranny in my humble little old apartment. The drawn curtains create a dark cast over the place, save for the sliver of light shining through the crack. You can hear the subtle drip from the kitchen faucet every 10 seconds, creating a sort of calming metronome effect. It's a relatively old and tiny place, so I've grown to love it somehow. So tiny. Yeah, and in a cute way. Oh, you have a loft. Grabbing the side of the step ladder connecting the ground floor to the small loft, she takes a step up to get a feel for the unusual route to bed. I felt my head on the ceiling one too many times, and I do like having a separate space for sleeping. Continues going around that's a very specific number. 11.92 millimeters. Size apartment, and notices the big dusty untouched electric guitar in the corner next to the TV. Whoa, do you play? No. Out of shyness, I rubbed the back of my neck, thinking back to why I even had the guitar in the first place. I bought it thinking I'd learn, but I never got around to fully diving into it. Shouldn't have started with an acoustic guitar first. Oh, shouldn't you have? Okay. I thought an electric guitar was cooler. She giggles and I scowl a little, embarrassed to the max. Hey, you can't blame me for thinking that's true, don't you think? I agree with her. Electric guitar would definitely be cooler, but there's a lot of good like acoustic guitar songs you can play. Like I definitely think the acoustic guitar like has like a certain sound that's nice. Like if you really want to rock out, yeah, sure, the electric guitar. But her gaze lingers on it for a little while, but drops to the issue as I continue my quest to give her a makeshift bed. Begin to pull out the folding floor couch and transforms into a mini-sized bed, complete with a blanket and spare pillow I grabbed from the closet. It's really come in handy for drunk friends and now for supposedly runaway criminals. Lift up the pillow and place it at the end of the sofa bed alongside the folded blanket. You can rest here for today, so it's nothing fancy, but it'll do. That second thought, she immediately plops in the great bed and makes herself right at home. Face is full of bliss, having something soft to sleep on after a presumably long night. Thank you, I'll definitely repay you soon. Just let me know what you'd... The second she falls fast asleep mid-sentence. Who knew that could actually happen? Soft snores fill up the little apartment, joining in with the faucet in the back. We've had a small sigh out of concern for this unknown person. Must have had a long night. I feel ya. Gently as possible, I unfold a thin blanket and cover just up to her waist, fearing it might get hotter later in the day. Seeing her dreamland elicits a yawn out of me, and I soon make my way to bed. To get ready for bed at 6 a.m. in the morning. Even the birds chirping outside sound nothing like a lullaby in the least. Yeah, that's the worst, when it's light out and you can hear stuff going on outside. You're like, okay, I probably should be getting up, and you're trying to go to bed. That's why night shift sucks. Don't do it. It's a trap. Also, I just feel like when you're working at night and you're not moving around as much, it makes you more tired. I like to be busy and moving around. I don't like those moments when you're just doing nothing. It makes it drag. Blurry eyes automatically open at 10 a.m. and I'm met with blank off-white wall I see every morning. You got up at 10 a.m. after going to bed at 6? You're crazy. I do not understand people that can get 4 hours of sleep or just like a few hours and like they can function as a human being. Like if I don't get 8, I don't feel alive. And it's like I sometimes already don't feel alive. So it's like I don't want to feel even worse. Seems the eternal clock inside of me is to get used to the graveyard shift schedule. I have to sleep from my eyes and stretch my stiff limbs across the bed to loosen them up from the slumber. Though it's not nearly a full 8 hours, I got at least 4 hours. I can blame the tiring event that was yesterday, or this early morning. I peep over the ledge of the loft and find the sleeping beauty still sound asleep. Crack my back with another big stretch and get ready for the day. Supposed to meet some friends later, so I'll probably kick her out when I step out, which frankly quite worries me. Look down at her gentle sleeping face. I guess I'll let her sleep a little bit longer. Take another big stretch and head down the ladder, ready to start my day. It isn't until I finish cooking breakfast she finally wakes up at around 11:46 a.m. The smell of eggs travels through the warm and stuffy air, accompanied by the light shining throughout the balcony windows, making it a perfect scene to wake up to. Smells delicious. Doggy eyes turn towards me and stare back at her as I sip on my cup of coffee at the dinner table. Good morning. Good morning. Fortunately, don't have a spare toothbrush for you, so you're gonna have to deal with eating without brushing your teeth first, though feel free to wash your face and freshen up. But why would you brush your teeth before eating? Why don't you eat and then brush your teeth? I'm gonna call you out on this, Team Anpim. Don't brush your teeth first thing in the morning. Go eat and then brush your teeth, so that way you have fresh breath for when you go throughout the rest of the day. Don't care, I'm hungry. I want food now. Unexpectedly childish answer makes me chuckle. I need some eggs and toast. I also have natto and rice if you're into that. Starts taking off her jacket and heads over to her meal, giving me a proper look at what she looks like. Her long terracotta colored hair is styled with wispy front bangs and the length reaches the small of her back. It's a little messy, but somehow still manages to look presentable. She's quite good looking. I don't know if she has makeup on, but her face is essentially flawless. Despite it being a baggy hoodie, you can still make out the slim silhouette hidden beneath it. Tucks a strand of hair behind her ears and starts digging in. Itadakimasu. You'd think with a pretty face such as hers, she'd be eating a lot more elegantly, but she completely ravages the dish. Christ, it's like you haven't eaten in days. Watch her demolish her breakfast with half of it already gone. I haven't eaten anything other than tuna onigiri the past few days, don't blame me. Here I thought they were just midnight snacks. You don't cook. I do, but when there are no, I can't when there are no ingredients in the house. And of course, due to reasons, I can't be out for too long. Should I pry? What kind of reasons? Briefly makes eye contacts with me and then proceeds to avoid them like the plague. Can't say. You a vampire or something? My response to that is I'm not a vampire, but I feel like one, okay? Wipes her mouth with a napkin and scoffs at my outrageous accusation. Might as well be one since I've only been able to leave my place in the middle of the night. It's that bad. Is that why you're at the convenience store at 3 in the morning all the time? Lack of reply answers my question. The pitiful expression living on her face doesn't seem to be disappearing anytime soon. Let it aside, hope I don't regret the next choice I'm gonna make. Then I guess you can stay here until nighttime. You probably don't want to step outside in broad daylight since you're a vampire and all, right? Not a vampire. I wonder if this is like a reference to their vampire novel that they wrote. That one was pretty good. I don't remember it as well as maybe some of the others. Not that I remember any of them really well, and that's not because they aren't memorable. That's just because my memory is awful. And because I do finish them like all in one sitting, I don't have time to really like digest for a long period of time as I'm playing. It's like I just kind of play it through once, and then it's like I don't get to play it again. I don't get to play more, which is sad. But that's okay. I do like these one shots, and I like how they tend to reference the other games. Claire shot my way, but quickly shifts into a serious expression of eyes that have worry written all over them. Wait. I know this is a tall order, and I probably have no place to ask you of this, but can I stay for just a little longer? Huh? She's serious. I only promised her one night, and until tonight, nothing more. My doubtful face must have said 1,000 words as she starts pleading endlessly. Please, I don't have anywhere to go. I can cook for you, clean your place, anything. I continue my skeptical stare. None of these things can make her extend her stay. Denied. I can cook and clean perfectly fine for myself by myself. Please, 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 please. Anne's clasped into a praying pose and places them on her forehead with tightly closed eyes, begging me not to kick her out. You're literally my only hope. Please. No. The last resort, she drops to the floor at my feet, and I know what this is. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've only read this. I know it's like that kind of Japanese pose when you're like really like begging. Oh wait, what are you doing? I'm begging you, please. Well, my eyes are flabbergasted, struggle to figure out how to react. Her forehead is down to the floor to show her earnesty and desperateness. Anyways, just get up first. Not getting up until you say yes. Why is she so dramatic? It's making me uncomfortable seeing her go that far. Okay, I get it. You can stay for another week or so. Now get up. I get down and pull her on my arms to encourage her to stop. Really? Yes, now get up before I take my word back. Jeez. She excitedly gets up and embraces me tightly, squeezing the living daylights out of me. Too close, you're too close. I try prying her away, but she's bent on sticking to me like glue as a way to show gratitude. Does this woman not know the meaning of personal space? With some more effort, I managed to separate her from me, finally being able to breathe and calm down. So on the other hand, is still giddy from excitement until I bring her back to earth. If you're going to be staying here for a week, then you need some clothes. No, I can lend you a t-shirt and pants to act as pajamas. Buy you some new underwear today or something. Start my way to my little closet in the corner, but she stops me. It's okay, there's no need. I sleep naked. That's not what you did last night. Do a double take to make sure I heard her right. Naked? Yeah. I mean, that's fine and all, but that's my apartment you're living in. I'm not letting you roam around butt naked. I don't want to see that. But isn't it fine? We're both girls, after all. That's not the issue. Do you have any sense of decency? I feel the most comfortable at home once. Why I don't like to wear clothes at home. Clothes are so restricting. I rummaged through my closet madly to find even just a t-shirt and pajama pant, chucking it at her to shut up. You should feel most comfortable at home, exactly, and I'm uncomfortable seeing you naked. No buts. Do you want to stay here or not? Fine. Rolls her eyes while holding up the oversized t-shirt against her torso to see how it will fit. Face has become disheartened and has given up to the power I hold over her. Now it sounds like she has... This sounds like she has something more to say. But can I only wear the t-shirt and panties? Whatever, fine. I don't want this to drag on any longer, so I decided to give in. The t-shirt and panties is better than nothing. To cool myself down, I put the sofa bed back to its original couch and take a seat. When was the last time someone got under my skin this badly? I can usually keep it cool, but this girl's on another level. I look in her direction, meeting eyes with her as she's now changed into the t-shirt, her bare legs being shown off to me. Red tilts asking me a question physically. Hold up. Nope, not that. What is it, H? What is this little smile on here? What is this mischievous looking smile? Huh? Try to avoid thinking about it, but her slender bare legs are more attractive than I'd like them to be. Feel myself swallow hard and look away. I'm trying to remember what that like smile is on her shirt. It has like a name and I can't remember. It's gonna bother me. Feel myself swallow hard and look away. Now that my head has cooled down a little bit, I'm regaining my composure. I start to interrogate her. Anyways, let's get the formalities out of the way. What's your name? I think I at least deserve to know who I'm living with, right? My name is Paul. She quickly shuts herself up with her hands and nervously looks around before continuing. My name is Hokuto. Hoshizora Hokuto. Hokuto. It's a weird name, I know, you don't have to tell me. Hokuto looks away with an annoyed face, like she's used to people asking. Like Hokuto is in the Big Dipper constellation. Yes. Okay then, should I just call you Hoshizora-san then, if Hokuto is a sore spot? No, it's fine, I'm used to it, you can call me Hokuto. Okay then, Hokuto, let's lay... Wait. Hokuto comes closer and kneels down next to me. What's your name? You can't just ask for my name without telling me yours. Oh, sorry, I'm Tsukimiya Minami. Minami-chan, huh? Oh, wait, don't add a chan to it. Why, what's wrong with it? We're gonna be living together for the next week in a small apartment already. Might as well get chummy. Flashes me with a wide grin with her perfect teeth, and I choose to ignore it. Whatever you want. Anyways, let's lay down some ground rules. 1, no being naked. 2, you're cooking for yourself. You can use my ingredients, but you're responsible for your own food. 3, keep the bathroom clean. 4, I'm out of the house from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., so behave yourself within that time frame. Yes, sir. Hokuto salutes me with a serious face, understanding the rules. Alright, that about settles it, I think. My body slumps to the couch and loss of energy I just had to expend in the past 15 minutes. How am I going to handle this for the whole of next week? I turn my head to her and stare at her again. She stares back at me with starry eyes. I wonder how old she is. What I can gather, she seems to be in her early 20s, but you can never know for sure. She sure acts like she's 16, though. Oh dear, I didn't just take in a minor, did I? Why are you looking at me? You're not 16, are you? Hokuto's happy face instantly turns judgmental and stares at me with deadpan eyes. You calling me childish? I didn't say that. I'll you know I'm a fully fledged adult that can think for herself. I can't help but let out a sarcastic smile. Are you sure about that? How old are you? You can't be older than 24. I actually hit the nail on the head. What if I said I was older? Hard to believe. What? Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that I could be older than you. Okay, fine then. I'm 24. Shoot, we're the same age. I'm 30. You're lying. Alright, I'm 24. Okay, then what's your birth month? Wait, we're still going at it. July 30th. July 30th, you gotta be kidding me. December 1st. Aha, I'm older. So immature. Yeah, whatever. Rush off the victory at the maturity contest and pretend like it's nothing. Do the same thing with my wife, because I'm like, oh, how many months older? I don't know, I'm at least 5 months older than her, but I will always say that I'm older, because I'm always just a little bit, right? Brush off her victory of the immaturity contest and pretend like nothing happened. She's so annoying. Pull out my phone and check the time, making sure I won't be late for my meetup with my friends. Thought of leaving her alone here worries me, but like she said, she's an adult. I'll be heading out until late tonight, so don't wait for me. There are groceries in the fridge, feel free to make whatever you want, just don't burn the place down. Buy some essentials for you on the way home too. With just 10 steps, I reach the Genkan area and start putting my shoes on, ready to be free from this now stuffy house. So we must be in Japan. And I can't tell if Team Anpim are weebs or if they actually live in Japan. Like maybe they know something about Japan. I never know. But where are you going? Out? Leaving me all alone. I pull the heel of my shoe and fit my foot properly into it without even a glance at the anxious puppy that seems to have separation anxiety. Yes, not behave nicely or I'm kicking you out. Wait, Minami-chan. The slam of the door creates a barrier between us and shuts out her slightly high-pitched voice. Yeah, because this looks like Japan. Step down the stairs and stare back at the door, thinking she might come running after me. The street is quiet with only the birds chirping and various street noises. No sign of Hokuto's voice, all clear. Aside from relief, I continue to make my way to the hangout spot. I'll forget about her for the time being and just enjoy my time out with friends. Alright, let's see how the day goes. The steps I take leading up to the apartment door were light until I arrived just a few feet away, dreading the thing I tried to forget about. Or rather, the person I tried to forget about. Look up at the building and the surrounding homes and see no flames. Good, she didn't burn the building down. Like, that's like the minimum you can expect from a roommate, right? Like, don't burn the house down, like cooking a salad or something. When I'm about to unlock the door, I began hearing something out of the ordinary coming from inside. I placed my ear to the door and hear the sound more clearly now. If there's a reason, then promise to God I'll be back once again. Sorry, I'm not promising to be a good singer, okay? On days that shine bright, on sleepless cold nights, trust me, they'll always be on my mind. Every place that I go, promise I'll think of you. Strums of electric guitar are heard, accompanied by a heavenly female voice singing along with the melody. Is that Hokuto? Sitting outside with my ear to the door for a little while, listening to Hokuto sing the unfamiliar tune, completely memorized by her voice. The song sounds to be in English, but I have no idea what the lyrics say, but I'm thoroughly impressed by her pronunciation. Okay, is that what this is supposed to be? So we're Japanese, but this is like translated like a normal. But I was under the impression this is an English visual novel, but I have no idea. Like I said, the author could be Japanese and just writing in English, and I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not gonna pretend like I know much. Singing ability is not just of the karaoke level like mine. It's almost professional with proper training. Be ashamed to interrupt her. I lean against the door, still able to hear her clear voice and hum along to the catchy repeating chorus that I've caught on. The song ends too soon and I'm tempted to wait for another song to start playing. Perhaps the jukebox has run out of players. Take this opportunity to unlock the door and find her still holding the teal guitar, whipping her head into my direction as I catch her in the act. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to play your guitar. I just dropped the bags of her living essentials on the dinner table and pat her head to ease her worry. It's okay. Feel free to continue. Oh, and here are your new underwear and toothbrush. Just got some cheap ones. Hope you don't mind that. Take out the items I bought from her bag, assuming she'll go back to playing the instrument. Instead, Hokuto plays the guitar on its stand and sheepishly sits on the couch like she did something wrong. Maybe she has stage fright. Sorry, I was just bored out of my mind. I won't touch your guitar next time. Peek my head over the ledge of the loft as I head up to change and take a look at her with her eyes looking up at me. I wasn't yelling at you, was I? Told you it's fine. It's not like the guitar gets played anyway. Someone's got to give her some love. It's okay. I'm a little tired anyways. I was playing pretty much for the past few hours. Man follows her as she speed walks to the bathroom while grabbing her toothbrush, presumably getting ready for bed. Did my tone accidentally come off as mad or something? I was kind of looking forward to hearing some more of her singing. After my shower, not a single word passes between us for the rest of the night, right up until the lights go out. Good night. Good night. I walk past her strip-like form in her bed and climb up the ladder to my own, ready to catch some Z's after today's busy day. I have tomorrow off again, so hopefully I'll be able to rest up before working my graveyard shift. I shut tight, hoping that sleep will soon take me and re-energize me for tomorrow. Except, no matter how much I turn, I can't seem to pass out. My sleep schedule has been so ruined, I must have gotten used to the new sleeping schedule now. I can't sleep like a normal person anymore. That's what I'm saying, it ruins you. Don't do night shifts. Guess I'll just scroll on my phone until I pass out. Scroll through Instagram and check people's stories, but all I see are photos of food, if not drinks, and it's not the best time to be seeing those right now for the sake of my rumbling stomach. Never mind then. Lock my phone and toss it to the side. Maybe I'll fall asleep eventually if I close my eyes hard enough. The tactic doesn't work that well, but I stay that way for what seems like hours, because what else can I do? I don't know how long it took, but eventually I feel like I'm able to drift off into a slumber and almost lose my consciousness. Or just as I'm 1 second away from passing out, I hear the creaks of the ladder. I think to myself I was just imagining and don't pay it any mind, but a certain someone's voice brings me back to reality. Minami-chan, are you asleep? Hokuto reaches out with barely a whisper, but loud enough that I can't ignore it. Grab my neck to see her half her silhouette holding her pillow in the dark. I was about to be. Sorry. I give her a discontented sigh. Do you need something? I was wondering. As you're fidgeting with her fingers and looking left and right nervously. If I could sleep with you tonight. Huh? Why? Today is the only day I get to have a good night's rest, so it's not going that well right now, but hell no, am I letting her ruin it further? I'm afraid of what? Ghosts? Come on, you can't be serious. I just don't want to be alone right now. Her loud, clear voice rings through the sleepy apartment surprises me, leaving me a little speechless. My adjusted eyes can see her concerned face, and that alone makes me give in. So I audibly and scooch over my mattress to make room for her. Alright. She meekly places her pillow down and climbs on the futon. Watch her curl up like a cooked shrimp again as she looks at me, looking at her. Alright, hold on. I want to get a good look at this, just to see what we're dealing with. I will say the artists for Team Anpim, they're cooking, okay? They're cooking. Like, just the art and the detail in this is great. Like, I absolutely love the artist. Like, the sprites and everything are just always a treat. Her big, sad, dewy eyes stare into my soul, and I unknowingly feel my heart skip a beat out of nervousness, causing me to lose the staring contest. I turn around roughly to get rid of the sudden feeling. I go to sleep. Her warm breath hits my upper back due to our proximity, and I can feel myself becoming more conscious of her presence in my bed. It's been a while since I've slept next to someone, so feeling someone's warmth in the same bed feels somewhat comforting, even though she's been nothing but an inconvenience. A long silence passes by, and I think she's fallen asleep, but then her quiet voice speaks up. Thank you. Contemplate whether to reply or pretend I'm asleep, wait for more words instead to fully make a decision. Really? I don't know what would happen to me if it weren't for you. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. I stare blankly at the off-white wall that I face every night. Hearing that I've helped her in one way or another feels nice and makes me realize that maybe it was a good choice to take her in. I wouldn't want to imagine what would happen to her if I didn't. I just hope she doesn't attract me any extra trouble by being here. Remember those two men looking for her flashes across my mind. Who could this girl possibly be? A thief? Someone in massive debt being chased by loan sharks? A criminal? Inconvenience or not, what matters is that you're safe right now, yeah? Besides, at least you can cook for yourself and technically aren't causing too much trouble. For the time being. Not gonna lie, I think living with you won't be too bad after all. You just need to work in your personal space some more. Anyways, I don't know what's going on in your life, but I hope you get it figured out. 10 seconds pass by and the girl next to me still hasn't replied. I glance behind me and find her sleeping soundly with her brows, her chest slowly rising and falling in a slow rhythm. After I said all those nice things too. Her eyes fall on her porcelain skin that glow even in the darkness, and her long lashes that arch up forward. Her silky long hair frames her face nicely, giving her a picture-perfect sleeping face. She's much more tolerable when she's quiet, and that pretty face is definitely a plus. I sigh and return to my previous position while shutting my eyes, soon joining the runaway fugitive in dreamland. Okuto sits opposite of me at the dinner table. She finishes up the last of her salmon dinner, patting her belly contently with a big smile on her face. Put away the dishes and soak them in the sink, returning to the table to start reading today's trending tweets. I'll make Hokuto watch them later once I leave for work. Go for the list of trending hashtags and see what's happening today. One of them reads Constellation, and the odd word catches my attention, making me tap on it. I assumed it had something to do with the constellations or the likes, but it's apparently a pop group's name. The tag is flooded with tweets of both support and hate, accompanied with photos of a seemingly well-known pop girl group. Seems to be one photo circulating and being, quote, retweeted, a photo of the outside of a modern apartment. What's going on? Read some tweets to try to get some context. LOL, now the world knows where she lives. I knew she was a dirty-handed slut. I'm never standing them again. Gosh. I feel like these people that are into, like, K-pop and J-pop groups are, like, super obsessive. You could leave the group. She's giving the rest of the members a bad rep. It's like, just leave people alone. Let them do what they want. Like, I like a lot of, like, artists and things, but I don't need to know about their personal life. And it's like, sometimes I don't want to know, because the more I learn about them personally, the less I like them. So it's like, sometimes I don't want to know about somebody outside of whatever medium. Like, if they're an actor or a singer, like, I don't need to know anything more than them about them than if they're, like, good at whatever I like them for. Vandalize the place, lol. That's terrible. Don't even know the whole story yet, and you're harking on Polaris? What does the world come to? Get a life. Polaris did nothing wrong. Polaris, we still support you. Don't listen to them. We were talking about boycotting the group while some are defending the girl in question. And it's hard because, like, I know especially with stuff like this, people act like they kind of know the person when they're defending them. And that's, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's like nobody should be talking about their personal life. Like, if they're dating someone, who cares? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Polaris, the name of the girl in the hot seat. I scroll down, see more, and see a photo of her, but I can't find her looking familiar. I wonder who this Polaris character could be. That's crazy. Idol sports, trendy clothing paired with bold, smoky makeup in contrast with the usual cutesy idol group style. I don't know much about idol groups. The concept sure is different from the ones I've seen growing up. Her smile is a small smile akin to a smirk showing off her confident, powerful aura. It looks like she can win at anything and do it effortlessly. There's a strong image contrast with the situation she's in right now, being cancelled and all. This doesn't even affect her given how badass and independent she looks in that photo. Apparently a cancelled idol group got her address leaked or something. The whole of Twitter is about to go on a witch hunt. Handed over my phone to Hokuto to show her, and I see her blissfully satisfied face transform into a blank face with furrowed brows. She grabs onto my phone and pulls the phone closer to her face, scrolling down the multitudes of tweets. Oh, she's doing okay. Getting canceled and having her house fee leaked can't be good for her mental state. Yeah, she does look like a deer in like headlights right now. Hokuto's grip loosens. She looks like she just saw a ghost. Before I can ask her what's wrong, she gets up and excuses herself without a word. Hokuto. I watch her head into the washroom and shut the door quietly. Leave Hokuto be and continue scrolling to find more info. I think that there's something of a scandal that started it all. What was the scandal I saw in the magazine the other day? It's only been a few days and they found her house already? The world is scary. Another photo of the idol pops up in the tag, one with a photo shoot of her squatting, looking up at the careful, cool expression in her face. In that pose and angle, she looks simultaneously alluring and innocent. Though why does she look so familiar? I've seen her before. I have something in the photo I saw of her in that magazine. Did she drop by the convenience store once? Her big round magenta eyes are accentuated even more as she looks up towards the camera, and her fashionably styled caramel hair is neatly kept, fitting for a picture-perfect idol like her. I find myself staring at the photo again, drawn by both her striking beauty and the nagging sense that I've seen her before. Just where have I seen her before? I don't know, Minami, if I can get your name right. Where have you seen her before? Oh my gosh, it's going off the screen. Hold on. My head immediately swings towards the direction of the washroom so fast I'm sure I gave myself whiplash. No. I look back at the picture again. There's no doubt about it now. Rush to the washroom, burst the unlocked door. First open the unlocked door, I don't see anyone until I look down. Hokuto's on the floor next to the bathtub, huddled in a ball just like she did by the convenience store counter that one night. Looks at me with the same tear-reddened and red puffy eyes of that one night. Oh my god. Hokuto. Approach her cautiously and she instantly latches onto me and cries out loudly. I awkwardly wrap my arms around her and try to comfort her, though I don't know how good of a job I can do. Cries ring for the bathroom, giving it a reverb that makes it sound extra sorrowful. Hokuto, what is going on? The only reply I get is her continuous crying. I don't think I'll be getting anything out of her anytime soon. Take a deep sigh and pull her up, getting out of the bathroom to a more comfortable spot. Come on, let's get you seated on the couch. Continuous cries. Her crying continues, but she complies and follows my lead. I move us to the makeshift bed and let her collect herself a glass of water. Her crying gradually subsides, but only the hiccups remain. The long nails of hers dig into my skin as she reaches out to grip my hand for support. I wince a little, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to what she's going through. We're silent for a good 10 minutes before she starts explaining everything. I'm assuming you connected the dots already. If what I'm thinking is correct, then yeah. Hokuto fails to make eye contact with me, probably feeling ashamed that I found out about her background. I consider a gulp out of nervousness, but I decide to continue the conversation carefully. Do you want to talk about it? It's okay if you don't. No, I feel like I owe you an explanation, or at the very least, you be aware of who you're housing. Her grip on my hand loosens as she folds her arms around her waist, hugging herself while shrinking away. If you haven't noticed already, I'm Polaris from the group Constellation. I got into a scandal just 2 weeks ago. My manager told me to lay low while I figure it out. I couldn't go back to my own apartment because some of the members live there too. I can't risk their address being leaked if anyone sees me entering the building and start camping there. Manager then offered me her place to stay at while she's elsewhere, and that's where I've been living, keeping myself in the shadows. That is until I got caught staying there. Buries her face in her hands, overwhelmed with despair. I gently, albeit awkwardly, pat her back, trying to offer some comfort. The entire time I stay silent as I doubt anything I could say would help right now. It's probably best to let her cry it out. So stupid. It's all my fault. Scandal shouldn't have happened. A high-profile producer had asked me to meet up for dinner at a hotel to talk about the new project he had in mind for Constellation. Shouldn't have gone, but the pressure was on because he was such a renowned producer. He's known to have his way of pulling strings from behind the scenes and running groups if he doesn't get what he wants, or ruining groups if he doesn't get what he wants. Yes, I've already tainted our group in some way or another by agreeing to meet with him privately. I was told not to tell my manager since he said things were already disclosed to them. Like, how I was supposed to believe that? Who does he take me for? But I agreed to stay on his good side in the long run. Constellation is soon to be a 3-year-old group. We've painstakingly built our reputations to be one of the more popular ones. But we're still relatively small and under scrutiny of the higher-ups. That's why I felt like I had no choice but to say yes. You know how frustrating that is, needing to say yes to something that you know is bad news. In preparation for the meeting, I made sure no one followed me to the hotel and wore a disguise. After our meeting, I knew very well what was going to happen next, so I faked a phone call, made it sound like there was an emergency, and I had to leave immediately. I'm not sure how convincing it was, but I summoned every ounce of my acting skills. It made him feel like he had no choice but to let me go. In that paparazzi photo, he was sending me off in the taxi, but it was spun into such a sinister story. As the leader of the group, I felt responsible for taking care of everything and made a rash decision. But my decision caused my own downfall and possibly made my whole group's downfall. Hokuto's anger quickly turns to gloom once more and her words start quivering. Just what kind of leader am I? God, I'd even want to be a leader. I'm not a leader. I'm a younger sibling and I've been babied all my life. And all of a sudden I was thrusted into a leadership role. I try my best to be a good leader and they all say I'm doing a good job, but am I really? When I first started out, there were so many nights where I would cry endlessly because it was so hard. I had to learn to hold back the tears and appear strong because as the leader and oldest member, I couldn't show any signs of weakness or else the whole group would be uneasy. But that night, no matter how hard I tried to be strong, I was so scared. So many things were at stake and so many things. And right now I can't handle hiding the weakness anymore, especially with that stupid scandal. To make it worse now, I have nowhere to go once my time here is up. It's true, she can't go back to her manager's place, nor her own home. She's not safe anywhere. Never been in this kind of dire situation that she's in right now, so I can only imagine the weight she has on her shoulders. Her whole voice is shaking as she finally lets out everything she's been keeping to herself, hiccuping from her intense cry session. Fortunately, I'm in no place to help her as I'm just a mere convenience store worker. I literally have nothing to my name. If there's only one thing I could do that could help, then I guess you could stay here for a little longer. It's an impulsive decision, but if there's any way I can lend her a helping hand, it'd be this. Seeing her so pitiful like this makes it hard not to offer my place for a longer duration. I mean, I have a place and I'm not living with anyone else. How could I not offer? Her entire body freezes as her head pops up from my chest while looking at me with wide eyes. Like you said, you have nowhere to go. You still have this place, right? Hokuto is still as a statue, but I can see no more tears beginning to well up. But I can see more tears beginning to well up in her eyes soon, slowly trickling down her face. Her lips start quivering, and as she begins shaking, tears are now streaming down her face faster. Wait, I offered you my place to get you to stop crying, so why are you crying more? Minami-chan digs her face in my chest and I can feel my t-shirt becoming wet with her tears. I pat her head to calm her down as I see the time displayed on the clock. As much as I shouldn't leave her alone right now, I have to change to get to work soon. I look down at her still quietly sobbing into my shirt and ruin the mood by breaking the news to her. Hokuto, I have to leave for work soon. And you're leaving? Yes, for work. Hokuto tightens her hug on me, physically showing she doesn't want me to leave. I try to separate myself from her, but her grip only tightens the more I push her away. Hokuto, you can't just keep me from going to work. With a dejected face, she eventually loosens herself from me and sits like a sad puppy on the sofa bed. Sorry, I got too emotional. I look down at my t-shirt and I can finally see the damage done to it. I definitely need to put this in the wash tomorrow. I get up and head to my closet to grab a change of clothes. I'll be back soon, I promise. Hokuto only nods and lies down, exhausted from the cry fest from earlier. After having calmed down a bit, I go change and freshen up as fast as possible before I'm late to work. All that info was just dumped on me runs through my head, and I feel like it was just all a fever dream. Hokuto? An idol? Let alone a cancelled idol? Let out aside trying to collect my thoughts and try to think more clearly. Could I have bitten off more than I could chew? Should I have not offered? It's only the right thing to do, no? If no one knows she's here, both her and my livelihood should be fine, right? Should be fine. What's the worst that could happen, right? So I hope my worries to finish putting my shirt, fearing that if I dwell on the matter any longer, I'll be for real late for work. I rush down and let Hokuto know I'm leaving, but I find her fast asleep. Not surprising, that was probably a lot she just went through mentally. Poor girl. I grabbed the blanket and laid it on top of her before rushing out the door to make sure, make it to work on time. When I arrive home, the sun has already peeped out and begins warming up the cold morning air. Throughout the whole process, Hokuto was constant in my mind, and my brain was still processing everything from earlier that night. Now that I think about it, I don't know how long she'll be staying here for. 1 more week? 1 more month? 1 more year? The thought of having a roommate after living alone for so long makes me regret my offer to extend her stay, even though I know that she needs it right now. Well, at least she doesn't seem to be a bad roommate so far. I found myself still unable to believe that Hokuto's an idol, and I cancel one for that. The whole fiasco from last night started to take a toll on me. I let out a big sigh, opening the door to my humble little abode, where I thought I'd be greeted by dread, I'm instead greeted by a cheerful Hokuto. Okairi, Minami-chan runs up to me holding a wet rag and looks at me with starry eyes. Why are you awake at 6 a.m.? I slept early last night, so I naturally just woke up early. And since I had nothing to do, I started cleaning the place. A small sigh escapes from me as I brush past her towards the bathroom for a shower. You don't have to do any cleaning or cooking, I told you that. It's the least I could do for letting me stay here. That makes you more at ease, then by all means, I guess. Take a quick shower and head to bed while Hokuto continues cleaning with me, requesting for her to keep the blinds closed so I can sleep. Watch her before heading up to my loft to pass out. She's a little clumsy, but she's devout at the very least. Seems to be in high spirits in spite of yesterday's breakdown. Could be one of her defense mechanisms of putting on a strong front. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. How many people can go from emotional breakdown to bright and cheery the next day? Well, so long as she's feeling better. I'll leave it to her and try to focus on sleeping. Just I'm about to fall asleep, probably from the fatigue of the workday and in the trauma dump. A loud clatter jolts me up and I check up on Hokuto. You okay? Kind of tilts to meet my eyes and she's hugging the remote control that I assume she knocked over just now from cleaning. I'm fine, don't worry about me. You can't just say that and expect me not to worry. Fine, just go back to sleep. Raised my eyebrow at her, clearly doubting her ability to be fine. She shoos me away for hand and resumes cleaning. I do as she instructs to plop back onto the bed, but instead of feeling sleepy, the adrenaline from the loud noise just now brought me back to life, ceasing my sleepiness. Great. How's this clumsy bum the same idol I saw on Twitter? Like 2 different entities. Her more mature and alluring image flashes across my mind. I begin to second guess if I saw correctly. She's the same on stage too. Curiosity gets the better of me, so I grab a hold of my phone and begin doing some research. Constellations Polaris. It is expected the first link shown after hitting enter are all pertaining to the scandal. The recent news on gossip sites and forums. I skip down to the non-gossip related sites and find a site that covers idol group profiles. Constellation member profile updated. It starts off with a photo of the group together and I immediately spot Hokuto in the center with a stronger makeup look, a look I'm not so used to. Although their bandmates have a similar look dressed in fashionable clothing, it's much more revealing than your average cute Japanese idol group. Scroll down and see Hokuto first on the list. That is definitely a different look. Polaris leader, main vocalist. Wow, main vocalist, that explains a lot as how she can sing so well. Clues were there the entire time and I didn't even notice. Born in Kanagawa, birthday July 30th. Speaking of, that's coming up soon, isn't it? Today's already July 15th. Favorite food is tuna onigiri, chocolate cake, and grilled meat. Put a little seeing tuna onigiri. What have I been saying? Tuna onigiri on the list, remembering how she kept buying it the first few nights she was here. Chocolate cake, though. Maybe I can get her something small from the store, and then we have some chocolate cakes in the dessert section. Take a mental note to continue reading. There's items on the list go so far as even revealing that she has an older sister, her role models, her favorite shows, when she started singing. How do they even get this information? These people are like way obsessive. Curiosity in me develops deeper as I open MeTube to search for the group's music. I don't listen to pop or mainstream stuff much, but I really want to see Hokuto in the limelight before me. The MeTube channel has 640,000 subscribers and features music videos, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes videos. Tap on the very first music video. Due to my carelessness, I don't lower the volume fast enough. The first notes of the song play out loud, resonating easily through the tiny apartment. Mere seconds, Hokuto comes storming up to the loft and jumps me in my bed. Are you watching my stuff? No. You think I can't recognize the start of my own song? She swipes at my phone and I dodge her grasp, saving my phone from being stolen. She tries again, but to no avail. I hit it deep under my blanket where she can't reach. Don't watch my stuff. Why not? It's weird. What do you mean it's weird? She sits up and pouts, further showing her disappointment. It's embarrassing. It's your job. Shouldn't you have gotten used to it by now? I pull my phone and resume watching the video, and that now shows the group in flashy clothing dancing to the song. Minami-chan! She attempts to steal my phone again, but she fails. Once more. I look at her, back at the phone, and back at her again, comparing Polaris to Hokuto. Charming and enchanting persona in the video contrasts heavily against the pouting baby sitting on top of me. Hokuto on screen is like someone completely different from a whole nother world. My eyes are drawn to the music video once again. Every single one of the girls are incredibly attractive, especially in their slightly revealing clothing. However, my gaze somehow always ends up on Hokuto. Maybe it's because I'm trying to seek her out in the video. You're so different with the person in the music video. Are you sure this is you? It's a group's concept. I have no say in it. Do people know this immature side of yours? I try not to show, but if you watch the vlogs, you can see a little bit of it. Oh, good idea. I should watch those too. Wait, no! I laugh at her reaction as she protests by hitting and pulling on me, which reminds me that she's like shadowing me right now, making me flustered. Can you get off of me? Hokuto crosses her arms with an amused face. I'll get off if you stop watching. No amount of research is worth this embarrassing position. Does she not even notice? Ahem. Perfect timing, the music stops and I lock my phone and put it out of sight. There, now get off of me. Hokuto's frown slowly turns into a devilish smirk as she's caught on to my qualm. Instead of getting off of me like I requested, she gets even closer and closes in on me, trapping me under her ample chest. Looks like someone's not used to a little skinship. Her face, now mere inches away from me, resembles the seductive look she had in the music video, driving home that Polaris and Hokuto might not be the same persona, but they are indeed the same person. Stunned for a moment, but snapped back to reality and pushed her face away from me. Shut up and get off. Hokuto only laughs at the entertainment. She eventually rolls off me and onto the floor next to the mattress, cackling loudly. I try to collect myself and kick her back downstairs so I can get a good 6 hours of sleep. This girl, seriously. I grab my phone again and I unlock it, seeing the suggested video now that the music video is over. It's of another song from the group and I lower the volume to mute it, hoping Hokuto doesn't have the spidey senses to pick up that I'm secretly watching her group's content. The next music video has a more futuristic visual compared to the last, but just like before, the girls are dressed in flashy, fashionable outfits. Their dancing is perfectly synchronized, they all look stunning in every frame. I spot Hokuto and notice she has black hair with a streak of blonde, posing maturely and confidently for the non-dancing portion of the music video. Her bewitching stare as she looks into the camera while singing causes my heart to skip a beat. She's so beautiful. Not saying that the others aren't, but Hokuto definitely has more of the power that draws you in my opinion. When the short music video ends, I head to the group's page and try to check out their vlogs. The video starts with one of the other members, and I start to dive into the video before Hokuto yells from below. I know you're still watching, turn it off. Tisk, so she does have spidey senses. I sigh and comply, turning off the anticipated vlog and put my phone away as instructed. I should be sleeping anyway. I'll continue watching when I'm not around her. It's been another week of living with Hokuto, and honestly it's not too bad, aside from the lack of personal space. She's awfully touchy, and she's come to learn that it's my weakness. Can't how many times she's threatened me with skinship to achieve something. Her free time is usually spent playing the guitar, mooching off my Netflix account, or cleaning. Can't imagine being cooped up in the room for days on end, with the inability to go outside. She's probably vitamin D deficient at this point. Why she hasn't gone haywire yet. Which I guess is a good thing. I wouldn't know how to deal with that, at least. Take a look at her from the kitchen as I wash the dishes, and she's strumming on the guitar playing another tune I'm unfamiliar with. Her Her butterscotch-colored hair and slim back face faces me, oblivious to me observing her. Now used to the periodic background music from her playing the guitar, and it makes the day go by more enjoyably. It's a little less lonely. Watching her play brings me a sort of joy. She just looks so happy playing it and singing. Truly an idol through and through with an affinity for music. I always thought of pop group idols as nothing more than visuals with lackluster vocals, so I never cared much for them, but Hokuto proves me wrong. You can have the visuals and the voice. Music comes to an end and I return to my dishes, not realizing that in the time I was watching her, the continuous splashing of the water had completely wet my shirt. How? Quickly finished cleaning the remaining dishes and joined her on the sofa bed. She's had a lot of shirts get ruined by either tears or doing the dishes, which I admit I hate when like my shirt gets wet doing dishes. I think that happens more when you have to wash them yourself, because like now that I have a dishwasher again, I didn't have a dishwasher for a little bit, and like, yeah, your shirt gets wet, but now that I have a dishwasher again, I don't seem to have that problem. To sit down next to her cramped couch, she strikes up a touchy topic. Say, do you think I'll ever get to perform on stage again? Hokuto clutches on the guitar tightly and keeps her eyes on the floor. Such a heavy question suddenly dumped on me and leaves me stooped, so all I can do is say some surface-level comforting words. I'm sure you will. What if I can't? What was all the work I put in for then? My heart feels heavy, feeling the anxiety she's emanating. Everything that she's worked towards just crumbling down with the snap of a finger. The silence in the room is deafening, but neither of us say anything to counter it. Stay silent in case I say something that makes the situation worse. I miss it so much. Hokuto's voice is barely a whisper, but it rings heavy with emotion. So no one knows exactly what she's going through, but I try my best to cheer her up in my own way. Not to pat her on the back, but a better idea popped in my head. Wait. I know a stage you can sing on. She looks at me furrowed brows and a cocked head, confused. That is, if you're willing to step out. What is it you're trying to get at? This might be a gamble, but I think it'll be worth it. I'll bring you somewhere. Her face is filled with hesitation. She hasn't stepped foot outside in the past 2 weeks. It could be a huge risk after all. It's the only thing I can think of that'll alleviate her worries and give her a stage to stand at, albeit temporarily. Her lack of answer is pretty telling about how she feels about going out in public. Maybe I was too ambitious. Or maybe not. I guess it's, no, I'll go. Look at her for confirmation as I thought she'd be too afraid. Are you sure? You don't have to force yourself. I want to go. Determination from her lights up a smile on my face. I'm sure it'll be good for her. Alright, then let's get you a disguise. But I already have one. No, something less obvious. The way you dressed before made you painfully stand out. Tossed her some of my clothing and accessories, giving her an outfit that's more of a summer vibe than winter, but still something that would make her blend in with the crowd. Try to cover as much of yourself as possible, but people are bound to be looking at you with your previous getup. Okay. But seriously, where are we going? Flash her a toothy grin, confident that she'll love it. You'll see. Step out of the cab and bright lights blind us in the dark night. Ooh, we're going to the karaoke. Looks like completely not expecting me to take her here. All I did was give her a smirk and drag her inside, and hurried steps to go to the karaoke joint, including to get a room for us. We stay in one spot for too long. Can I just say that the music you picked out is fire? Like, from the menu screen to like kind of the in-between scenes. Like, just listen to this. Like, it's nothing but bangers. Like, it's been really good. Like, I don't know if like maybe I just don't notice in every one of the past games, but I've noticed it especially in this one. The music has been on point. Enjoy your time here. All the way to our room makes the place look empty, but the boisterous sounds kept the room around us proves otherwise. People are busy loudly belting either party songs or ballads, slowly building the karaoke hype in me. Hopefully, Hokuto. Hopefully it's not too loud. Is it too loud? I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't know. If you guys are enjoying it, like me, then it won't be a problem. Also, I want to point out, I probably should have pointed it out. I don't know if you guys can see it in the background on like the red circle here. It says Team Anpim. When we arrive at our room, Hokuto hastily removes her disguise and stares at me in disbelief. The room was dark with neon and strobe lights flashing everywhere, creating a party atmosphere. Karaoke was the last place I thought you'd take me to. I thought it'd be somewhere with less people, like a night stroll at the beach where we'd scream at the deep ocean with our frustrations or something. You're crazy. Screaming at the ocean. What a specific example. I wonder what movie or game she got that idea from. That sounds familiar. We can leave if you want. That wasn't what I meant. Crack a smile, no singer could resist the karaoke bar. Not even instructing her, she grabs the controller and started searching for songs. May have been confident she had liked the place, but I was still a little worried there was a chance it could have been a blunder. So I'm getting distracted by the music again. It's just kind of a banger. Except to worry about not cracking when singing in front of Hokito. First song she picks is an energetic one. She really gets into it. Does she secretly be a party animal? I don't recognize the song, but I pick up the tambourine and hype her up alongside the fast-paced music. She looked happy playing the guitar at home, but she looks like the life in her has finally returned to her soulless body. I would really love for Team Anpim to get the kind of funding where they could like voice act this too. Like, I would love to see the day. They should do a crowdfund. So I recently played Rival Hearts, and that's getting crowdfunding, and they have voice acting. We need Team Anpim to get voice acting. I think it would be good. Like, not that they need it. Like, the story, like, is still good without it. But I could see them being bigger than they are. I don't know. I really do think the quality of these is good enough. Because, like, they have some of the, like, the funny dialogue that's a little bit cringy at times, but it's better than most English visual novels. I'll say that, because Rival Hearts had some cringy dialogue, that's for sure. Like, I genuinely think Team Anpim's games are, like, on a level of at least that quality, right? Like, and the art is so good. Like, whoever's the artist, I really would love for them to commission me something. I don't know if they do guys. Like, I would love to get, like, a portrait from them, or, like, my YouTube and stuff. So maybe I'll reach out to them. Maybe after this I'll reach out to them. I just don't know if they do guys, because I feel like they only do girls. It leaves me knowing that she's able to finally enjoy herself a little bit after being cooped up for so long. As the song nears its end, she's reaching for the controller and starts inputting a ton more songs. What songs do you want? I'll help you put them in. Oh no, it's okay, I'm not singing. What do you mean you're not singing? You can't come here and not sing. I brought you here for your sake, so sing your heart out. There's no fun, you need to sing with me. Come on, what do you want to sing? Put something in. Thought I could avoid embarrassing myself by not singing, but she doesn't seem to be taking no for an answer. Meekly take the controller from her as she starts her next song and looks for the song selection. Most of the songs I listen to are way too obscure and indie to be even on here, or way too hard to sing, so I usually opt for the oldies I listened to growing up with my parents. I'm trying to think, what would I sing in a karaoke? I'd probably, I don't know if this would even fit in a karaoke at all. I would either sing Falling in Reverse, just because I like a lot of Ronnie's songs, or I would sing maybe like Tame Impala. Those would be like my top two, just because those are like two of my favorite groups. I say group, but Tame Impala is literally just Kevin Parker. Not really a group per se. But a couple of songs, never say wait my turn stresses, I'll be singing in front of someone that can sing really well. Dear God, please help me. But if we want an Idol song, they should just sing Idol from Oshinoko. Just do that. Dear God, please help me. Okito, on the other hand, is having the time of her life. It looks like she has an even better time when it's finally my turn to sing. Minami, Minami, Minami. She's having her own cheerleader. Having my own cheerleader makes me even more anxious, but I try to pretend she's not here. It's hard to pretend she's not here when she's constantly cheering me on. I definitely cracked her singing off key for the first song, but I soon get accustomed to singing in front of her and start having fun alongside Hokito. Once I relax, so do my vocal cords, allowing me to sing with my full potential. Woo! Go Minami-chan! Hokito applauds loudly and looks at me with an awestruck face. Oh my god, Minami-chan, you're such a good singer. No, I'm nothing compared to you. Nonsense, you're really good. I feel my face coming up in a genuine compliment. I'm thankful that the dark room can hide it. You totally have what it takes to be a singer. Have you ever thought about it? Her saying that reminds me of when Sora told me I could be an idol, and I laughed, picturing myself as an idol similar to Hokito. Hell no. I think you could at least upload covers on YouTube. You probably have a lot of views, I'm sure. Perfectly fine being a non-celebrity. You should try. I'm serious. Oh, my song's next. The next song that plays has a slower vibe, a popular ballad that I know due to its sheer popularity back in the day. Up until now, her songs are all fast songs, so I was a little surprised to hear this play. Melancholic melody transports me back to my younger days when the song was playing everywhere. We get to hear them sing. Okay, well, not really, but we get to imagine them singing. I watch Hokuto intently as she begins the first note and I instantly become mesmerized. She's pretty good singing the previous songs. I might turn it down a little bit. Is that okay? Like, is anyone gonna get mad at me if I do? Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Because, like, some of the other songs were, like, at a good level, but, like, since we've been in here, I feel like the level's gone up a little bit. She's pretty good singing the previous songs, but her true talent shines here when she's not fooling around. The music doesn't overshadow her angelic voice. I'm brought back to the day when I heard her sing from outside my apartment door. Hokuto's voice is full and unwavering, filled with emotions as if she's going through the exact feelings of the original singer. The lyrics are bittersweet, talking about remembering a first love. I could name a lot of songs, probably, that talk about first loves. Maybe she's singing Taylor Swift. The way she sings it with so many emotions makes it seem like she's singing from the heart, recalling a past love of hers. She sings each note perfectly, adding a little bit of her own style to it. My attention is fully on her, basking in her live performance, captivating vocals. She's not wearing anything flashy, nor is she on the big stage like the performances I've seen of hers on Me Too, but this karaoke performance holds just as much power, if not more. She's really good. There's not a moment I missed, and it'd be a lie if I said I didn't fall in love with her then and there. I didn't even notice it, but the song ends as she waves in front of me, snapping me out of my hypnosis. Minami-chan. Dang, was a ballad song so boring for you that you just ended up spacing out? No, sorry, I didn't mean to space out. I was just, you're really good. Like, really good. You're able to bring out such raw emotion as if you're experiencing the lyrics. So different from the stuff I've seen you do. Stop it, you're making me blush. I just love singing songs, that's all. It's my favorite type of song to sing. I think one of the singers I've seen being able to draw out the most emotion in, like, music would have to probably be Adele. Like, I was really into Adele, like, when her, was it, I'm hoping I'm not confusing her with Taylor Swift, because I'm trying to remember her albums. Was it 21? I believe that she had. I really liked that album. And when she performed at the Great Albert Hall, like, that was probably one of my, like, favorite concerts, like, I've ever seen. Like, I wasn't there, but, like, I did watch the whole thing on Blu-ray, and, like, I just feel like she's able to just draw so much emotion out of that. So I think as, like, an emotional singer, like Adele just has a really powerful voice. Really good, really talented. Even nowadays, she's extremely talented. Slow love songs and ballads really put your vocals to the test, you know, they're so much fun. I also think, like, another group that can do that, like, create a vibe, the Eagles. I really like a lot of the Eagles, if we're gonna go for, like, an older group. Kind of ironic that's an idol who's allowed to date loves singing about love. That's exactly why I love them so much. I haven't been able to feel love for so long because I'm not supposed to. I even get to meet new people that aren't in the industry. And even if I did end up dating someone in the industry, we'd have to hide it like there's no tomorrow because our reputation would be at stake. I think I've given up on love. It's tough out there being an idol. And like I said earlier, I think that's really... It just really sucks that people are, like, so into the personal lives of, like, singers that they can't, like, date without it being controversial. And, like, just let them date somebody. Who cares? We belong to our fans and all, I get it, but I want to experience love again, too. I wonder if there's, like, controversy around it, because it's like a lot of these people seem to make songs about, like, falling in love and this and that. And it's like, what if they fall in love and, like, have a long-lasting relationship? Like, they won't have new experiences getting heartbroken and all that to make music about. Maybe that's why people don't like it. They like the drama, and that's, like, what creates better music for some people. I don't know. Belong to our fans and all, I get it, but I want to experience love again, too. I'm just like, I don't think any singer belongs to their fans. Like, I think if a singer makes music and you resonate with it, great, but that doesn't mean they have to make the music for you specifically. Like, they're gonna have songs that you don't resonate with at all, and they're gonna have some that you really do connect with, and that's okay, because it's like not every song is made for you specifically. I think you should find the songs that do resonate with you from a singer or a group, but it's like, I don't want to say that somebody belongs to anybody. It's like they're individuals, they're their own people, they can do what they want. When was the last time you dated someone, if ever? Never dated anyone before. I could have, but I moved schools before I was able to muster the courage to confess, and I never got to in the end. It seems like she really sang that song from experience. Sorry to hear that. It's okay, that was many years ago. I got busy with idol training anyways. Speaking of, how'd you get into the idol business? I'd imagine it's not easy. I've wanted to be an idol ever since I was a kid. She clasped her hands and stares in the distance with starry eyes. I distinctly remember seeing KOA on TV recording, listening to my heart when I was 6 years old and blown it out of my mind. She was so pretty and she was so good at dancing, oh my god, and being able to sing like that while dancing, she was so cool. She was so different from the others. I aspired to be just like her. Stars were practically beaming from her eyes. Begged my parents to let me join a talent company and start professionally training to be an idol at the start of high school. Then 3 years ago, I got scouted to join Constellation, and here I am. My dreams have finally jump-started, but now Hokido gets snapped back into reality of her situation. Her face turns dismal, dropping the mood, and I try not to let her sink. Put a hand on her shoulder and give her a reassuring smile. But we're here to forget about it all and have fun tonight, aren't we? Hands quickly reach for the controller and search up an old song that was once very popular. Catchy intro begins, and I turn to Hokido, ready to put her on yet another performance. You know this song. Ten's face relaxes and she chuckles, putting the mic up to her mouth. Oh, do I know this song. When the first words come up, we immediately sing the song together that has been ingrained into our brains since childhood. The rest of the remaining time we had the karaoke bar, the two of us sang our hearts out. It's great to see her let loose and have fun for a while, even if it's just for those 2 hours. I know it probably wasn't anything much, but she seemed like she enjoyed it. The rest of her set list for the night was a mixed bag of ballads and hype songs, but no matter what song she sang, she always gave it her all, and she shone so brightly, so dazzlingly. If I wasn't a fan before, I could say that I am now. For 2 hours we were there. It was like we were left behind the rest of the world, and it was just 2 of us. It's been a while since I've had that much fun, and unfortunately time flies when you're having fun. 2 hours were up by the time we knew it. Hokido places the mic on the table and slumps in her seat exhausted. Oh man, that was a nice sing session. Hokido looks at me with a toothy grin on her face and reaches out to my hand, causing me to flinch a little from the sudden touch. That was a blast, Minami-chan. We gotta come back here again. I return her smile and reassure her request. Sure. Hokido puts her hat and mask back on, the two of us head back to reality. After arriving home, the tiredness settles into both of us, so we crash onto the couch and just doze for a little while. Forgot how much energy karaoke uses up. Hokido leans her head on my shoulder, and the back of our hands make contact from our proximity. Thanks for the little field trip. No problem, I hope you enjoyed it. Of course. I was skeptical at first when you said you'd give me a stage to stand on, but it was a pretty good stage. As long as the pop star approves of it. It was nice to sing out loud like that. I hope I can do it again soon, and Hokido's sentence stops midway and I feel a weight on my shoulder. Look down to see her passed out, using my shoulder as a pillow. Her head on my shoulder soon creates a warmth from that area, and I feel her slowly breathe in and out against my arm. I can see her long eyelashes against her fair skin along with the rest of her pretty face. She's sleeping soundly and calmly, unlike that one time where she slept with furrowed brows. Thinking back to that one night where she asked to sleep with me reminds me that it's already been 3 weeks since she started living here, and it feels like it's been longer than that. Maybe it's because I see her every day. Brush her stray hair out of her face, careful not to disturb her slumber. Sleeping is probably the only time she can properly rest, not think about the whole disaster that's going on. Her peaceful sleeping face puts me at ease, hoping that I've helped somewhat. I'm glad she's feeling slightly better than before, even if it's just a little. My eyelids slowly drift closed from all the energy expended at karaoke. Forgot how tiring karaoke could be. Make use of her head as a pillow and lean lightly on it. I myself could use a little nap too. A week has flown by and I'm officially off graveyard duty. I just want to take a quick second here. I feel like I'm starting to see where the name comes from, the moon. I feel like she's kind of the moon because she's been working the night shift, which apparently she's officially off the graveyard shift. But she's kind of the moon working at night, and she fell for the star that, you know, came out at night, you know, to escape from the rest of the world for a little bit, you know? And she's the star as in the idol too, but she's also the star because she stood out so much at night, you know, coming into the it's not a 7-Eleven, but it kind of is. I just wanted to point that out. I was just kind of thinking about the name as I'm reading here. As happy as I am, my sleep schedule is not even more messed up as I try to sleep and wake up at a normal time again. I sit down on the couch and unlock my phone to do some doom scrolling. I'm greeted by a big 2320 on the screen alongside Wednesday, July 29th. I figure naturally presses on the Instagram icon and I mindlessly scroll down the barrage of photos. Most of them are scenic photos that the person I'm following has visited or pictures of food that they ate. Excuse me. Like a couple of my photos right. I'm doing that thing again. I'm mixing up words. Like a couple of my friends' photos and comment on some, but I get interrupted by my roommate. Hokuto kneels down next to my armrest and rests her hand and head on it, looking up at me. I see in the corner of my eye, but I continue looking at my phone. Why are you staring at me? Do you want to go out? Do a double take, forcing me to look at her with a bewildered expression. What? I want to go out somewhere. Oh, that's what it is. I return my attention to my phone. You want to get caught? No, but... She comes around and plops down next to me on my tiny cramped couch, gently shaking my arm and pleading. I've been craving the outdoors since the karaoke outing. Can't stop thinking about it. I need to go out, please. You're free to go out, the door's right there. There's no way I can go out alone. And I guess you're stuck here, huh? Come on, please. I'm dying, Minami-chan. I look at her and she stops whining, looking back at me with sparkling eyes. Fine, we can go to the park. The park? What am I, a kid? With the way you're acting right now, yeah. She sulks and sends a judging squint towards me. I get up and she releases her grasp on my arm. So, do you want to go out or not? Her eyes roll and she gets up as well, heading to the bathroom with a slumped body posture to change. Fine, let's go to the park. Both head off to change and get ready for the outing. Hokuto to the bathroom and I to my loft despite it being almost midnight. Which, speaking of midnight, before I change out of my pajamas, I head to the fridge and pack a little something in my bag. This is very reminiscent of the last novel where we kind of had a nice night, kind of. I believe it was by the river, right? When I reach out the park, the first thing that Hokuto goes for is a slide. I'm a swing guy myself. I think that's my first go-to at the park. On the other hand, sit at the nearby bench and watch her enjoy herself on the playground. She climbs up the little stairs and slides down the slide that barely seats her butt. Her giggles ring throughout the dark, empty park, where the only illumination comes from the rusty lamps surrounding the playground. Not a soul is around aside from us, as everyone's probably at home tucked away in bed preparing for tomorrow's day. Come join me. No thank you. You're missing out on all the fun. It's okay, just watching you is entertaining enough. I guess that is my job after all. Hokuto continues going on the playground equipment, including the monkey bars, are all way too low for her height, where she surprisingly completes the circuit with her legs bent and not touch the floor. Takes a seat on the horse spring rider. It's kind of funny seeing her big adult body in the tiny toy meant for children. Okay, I think we've all done that. Like, who hasn't done that? Like, I've done that. Laughs out loud while rocking back and forth from the small horse. Must be going insane for having this much fun from a playground. Agreed. A faint light in the night sky catches my attention and I point, directing her attention toward it. Look, it's you. Her head follows my finger and she laughs sarcastically at my observation. Haha, very funny. It's probably a satellite or something. It's hard to see stars in the city because of light pollution. Then I'll know to look for you in the sky if I ever get lost in the middle of nowhere that's not the city. If you can even identify the Big Dipper. Isn't it the brightest star in the sky or something? Oh yeah, I totally forgot about her name too. That's obviously a reference to her being the star. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that make her the star. Look at her scoffs as she gets off the little horse and sits next to me on the bench. That's a misconception. The brightest star is Sirius, not the North Star. Polaris is even in the Big Dipper. It's the Little Dipper. I don't know anything about astronomy, by the way, so anything I learn will be from this, because I don't know. Why is your stage name Polaris when you're the Big Dipper? Polaris. I never know if it's Polaris or Polaris. It's probably Polaris. Because I would totally want a stage name called Bigu Dippa. Check out the thought of an idol with the name Bigu Dippa. Couldn't you have just gone with Hokuto? Yeah, at first my company wanted to use my name as my stage name because of how unique it is, but I stubbornly refused and came up with Polaris instead. The star you can use to find where the Big Dipper is. I see, that's cute. Still, I've never met a Hokuto before, let alone a female Hokuto. What inspired your parents to name you Hokuto anyways? There are female Hokutos out there, we're just rare, or fictional. What an interesting name to choose for a girl. My parents wanted a boy, so they had that name lined up, but I turned out to be a girl. They ended up keeping the name and I despised it as a kid. I was got made fun of or mistaken as a guy. My parents tried to make me feel better by saying that I stand out and that I'm special, hence the special name. I obviously didn't buy any of that. Eventually I just ended up accepting it and stopped caring about it, but people still raise an eyebrow whenever I tell them. Geez, why couldn't they have named me something normal? Would have been perfectly fine with Hana, or Hinata, or Hibiki, or even a Haruka, but no, I get Hokito instead. That's okay, at least you seem to be owning the name the older you get. I just grew accustomed to it, that's all. We gladly continue sitting next to each other as we both end up doing our own stargazing, or rather satellite gazing. Sometimes it's nice to just sit in comfortable silence. Oh, I was like, what is that? No joke, I looked down at my phone. I don't know if you guys saw that. I was like looking at my phone, like I thought I had something going off. It sounds like you're like getting a call, like a video thing. Or it's like checking my messages. Starting both Hokito and I quickly turn it off. A phone call. No, an alarm. Gives me a quizzical look. For what? For instead of telling her, I decided to show her instead. Actually, close your eyes. Quizzical look intensifies. Just do it. Some hesitancy, Hokito complies, closing and covering her eyes with her hand. I turn to my bag and pull out the thing I brought with me, making sure to be quiet as I take the cover off. Double check to see if she's hiding her vision, start preparing the final touch to the surprise. But click, the flame on the candle lit by the lighter joins the playground lamp, sliding Hokito's face even more. Until the candle flame wafts through my nose, and I'm sure it's already traveled to Hokito's nose as well. Potentially ruining the surprise, but her eyes are still kept shut. Then prepare for my solo performance. Oh, it's her birthday. It must be July 30th then. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I'm not going to sing the whole thing. You guys can read. Hokito's eyes open wide, hearing the song, and she takes in the scene. Look, it's the chocolate cake. That's her favorite. This isn't a fancy cake or anything, but happy birthday. She brings her hands to her mouth in astonishment and looks at me with brightly lit, dewy eyes illuminated by the candlelight. I gotta say that they've been doing a really good job, like especially the past few novels, because they've been adding more on like the CGs. I really, really like the artist, and I've already said this before, but I'll say it again. You can hear it multiple times. That's just how good they are. Like I love the artist here. When she drops her hand, her mouth gapes to the tiny chocolate cake I brought from my workplace, surprised to no end. Oh my god, Minami-chan. Oh, make a wish. Her eyes meet for a moment before she looks down at the candle and shuts her eyes, clasping her hands together as she makes a wish. After a moment, she blows the candle out and the darkness engulfs us again. I dig through my tote bag for the fork I brought. Then I hear Hokito's wavering whimpers. Through the darkness, I see her starting to tear up. The surprise was supposed to make you happy, not sad. I am happy. She wipes her tears of happiness with her wrist. Well, what's happening right now, I thought this year's birthday would be a miserable and lonely one. Then you better be lucky I did my research on you. If I didn't, I probably would have forgotten from the first time you told me. I even got you a chocolate one, apparently one of your favorite foods. Stalker. Hey, do you want the cake or not? If you don't want it, you can just say the word, I'll eat it myself. Pull the cake away from her and shield it with my body. She laughs her cute laugh and lashes onto my arm, pulling the cake back towards her. I'm joking, of course I want the cake. Drop the act and laugh together with her as I hand over a fork. Birthday girl digs in and savors the chocolate goodness as if it is just a convenient store-bought cake. Chocolate is surely the best flavor, and you can't tell me otherwise. Agreed. Sorry, chocolate's not my favorite. It's not I like vanilla better. That's okay. Like, I like a good chocolate cake too. Just depends. Just then she brings me a piece of cake towards me. Do you want to try some? No, I'm good, thanks. Come on, you deserve at least some part of it for playing this whole surprise out. Say, what was this mysterious brown paper bag in the fridge with the do not touch label on it? Oh, say, was this the mysterious brown bag? Rubbed the back of my neck thinking about how corny the cake hiding scheme was. Yeah. You're so funny, I guess it worked. I didn't peep at it and ruin my surprise. I hurry and say, ah. As embarrassed as I am, I reluctantly follow her command and take a bite of the chocolate cake. It's nothing special compared to higher-end pastries, patisseries, or bakeries, but still pretty decent. What matters is that she liked it. I watch her happily eat it and enjoy, which brings a smile to my face. Takes a bite. She takes each bite with a smile, eating little by little to savor the small cake. She shifts her attention to me, looking at her and raises an eyebrow. What? Stop watching me eat. Nothing. You have a lot of chocolate around your mouth. Hokito immediately covers her mouth and screams with her eyes. Did you bring any napkins? I burst out laughing at her reaction. I didn't think she'd be so concerned, seeing how nonchalant she usually is. I'm joking, it's not that bad. Except for the corner of your mouth there. Reached into my bag for my pack of tissues and wiped the corner of her mouth that was stained with a bit of chocolate. There, now you look like the idol that you are. Thanks. Hokito shies away and continues eating her cake in silence, soon finishing and leaving no crumbs behind. Thanks for the meal. She puts the container and fork on the bench and licks her lips, relishing the remaining taste of the cake. Her body leans back and her head tilts up, looking at the night sky again. Seriously though, thank you. Kind of asked for more for my birthday. She tilts her head towards me and shows me a kind and warm smile, grateful for my little surprise. I even have a little private performance for you. Blood rushes my face as I think back to my singing of happy birthday. Out of habit, my hand drifts to my back of my neck again, rubbing it nervously. You already heard me at the karaoke. This isn't anything groundbreaking. It's different. I got an acapella this time. Once again, she shows me a cheeky grin that you can't hate even if you wanted to. I rest my hand on the back of the bench and accidentally touch Pinky's Hokito, causing me to jolt away hastily and feel my face heat up some more. Well, don't expect another acapella performance again. Does that mean I only get once a year and it's only the happy birthday song? Yes. Stingy. To change the topic, I unlock my phone and find that the time has already sped by, it being 12:40 a.m. already. I think it's about time to head back. Go and slide your last slide and swing your last swing. It's okay, I've had my fair share of the playground already. Are you sure? Last call. Yes, ma'am. I slowly make her way back to my apartment, giving her the last bit of freedom she has before she's locked up indoors again for the foreseeable future. Half home is dark and quiet, lit only by street lamps as most houses already have their lights out for the night. Hokito slowly closes the gap between us and tugs at my shirt. I look at her to see what she wants. Can I hold your hand as we walk? What? Why? I'm just a little afraid. My eyes look around cautiously as if someone or something will jump out at us at any moment. You were fine earlier, no? Houses still had their lights on, it was a little bit brighter, and now it's just dark and eerie. Hold out my hand hesitantly as she effortlessly slips her hands into mine, thus now walking shoulder to shoulder and picking up our pace. It's a little unnatural for me, but I put up with it as it gives me a sense of security too. Sure love to invade people's private space, don't you? At least this time it's for a good reason. True. Her hands are pleasantly warm, fitting perfectly into mine. I let a slight bit of heat creep up my face as I suddenly become conscious of Hokito. She clings on my arm with her other hand, and I'm afraid my palms might start getting sweaty. Swallow a nervous gulp as I think more about us holding hands in her close proximity. Her grip on my hand tightens, and I feel my heart skip another beat. What's making me so nervous? I've held hands with friends platonically before, so why does this feel different? I try to steal a sideways glance at her. I'm not sure if it's my imagination, but I feel we briefly made eye contact before she shifted her gaze elsewhere. I pretend it didn't happen, continued taking my strides, eager to get back home. Pick up our pace some more, in which Hokito follows suit, and my place soon becomes visible in the dark. Our hands are still intertwined until the very step to the front door when I let go to dig for my house keys. Handle feels cold to the touch after holding Hokito's warm hand. I unlock the door and we step into the bright apartment. I head in first, followed by Hokito as I take my shoes off, and I remember I grabbed today's... As I take off my shoes, I remember I grabbed today's mail yet. I'm assuming that's supposed to be I haven't grabbed it. Oh, wait a second, let me go grab the... I spent a little around a little too fast, not realizing Hokuto was right behind me. I accidentally bump into her, trapping her between myself and the door. Classic Team Anpim. Both of us freeze in shock from the sudden proximity, and neither of us make a move to apart from each other. Our faces are mere inches apart, lips nearly touching each other. My eyes lock onto her lips to prevent them from making eye contact, but the more I stare, the more I want to close the gap. Much to my surprise, Hokuto doesn't push me away, frozen in shock herself. I look to her, trying to gauge her emotion, and her eyes slowly meet mine. Our eyes meet, but neither of us say a word, out of shock. They look at me innocently as if I'm waiting for my next move. Those rosy lips of hers distract me for a split second, and that mere split second, the image of our lips are burned into my brain, despite me looking up and meeting her flawless face again. Instead of our eyes meeting, I notice her eyes fixated on my lips. Her look is what seals the deal with the devil on my shoulder, and I go for it. As soon as someone's looking at lips, you already know. You already know. Just a small move, and our lips brush against each other. It leaves me desperate for more, and it's just as if the brief touch was electric. It created a spark and brought me back to my senses. The angel on my shoulder pulls me back as if my gravitational force, and I crash into the wall behind me, knocking over the small figurine on the shoe drawer nearby. I cover my mouth with a hand in shock as I register the Pandora's box that nearly opened. Hokuto mirrors my wide-eyed expression as we both try to get a grasp on the situation. My eyes dart all over the place, trying to avoid eye contact with Hokuto as my mind and heart race in disarray. Sorry. Neither of us say a word. Sorry. Now I gotta say sorry. It's just too funny. Like, you guys just kissed. You're like, oh, sorry about that, you know. Not like both of you weren't enjoying it. Neither of us say a word, but I'm the first to break the tension and leave Hokuto at the entrance, eager to get out of the awkward situation that I created for myself. I would have ran out the door if Hokuto wasn't blocking it, so instead I book it to my loft and hope she doesn't follow me. What just came over me? Why did I do that? Why didn't she stop me? I scrambled my head to try to sort out some of my thoughts. There are more important things to worry about now, just as that. Such as how I'm going to face her tomorrow. How am I going to face her for the rest of the night? I have no choice but to hold myself up here and not go down until she falls asleep. I look across the loft expecting to see her head pop up from the ladder, but I don't see nor hear anything. Which is of course for the better. I sort of want her to ask me questions so I can figure out the answer myself. But if she's not confronting it, I probably scared her off. Oh my god, I screwed up big time, didn't I? I read everything and I wish someone would conk me on the head and give me amnesia. My brain is in overdrive and I can't think about how... All I can think about is the image of Hokuto inches away from me, causing my heart to beat faster than ever. To combat that, I burn myself under the blanket and turn off the little lamp on the floor next to me as I try to fall asleep, hoping it would erase the whole thing for both mine and Hokuto's memory. Do you really want that, though? Really? I don't think so. I don't believe it. Next morning comes despite me wishing I wouldn't. Look up at my brain fries that worked overtime thanks to last night. Still remember vividly Hokuto's face up and close in the shape of her lips, the sensation of them brushing against mine. All of it just happened out of the blue. The image is imprinted in my head even if I try to erase it. I facepalm myself and begin to wonder what I'm going to do with myself. It's going to be so awkward and weird once I step down there. What is she going to say? What am I going to say? Oh my god, I wish I could just take back last night. Can we just pretend it didn't happen? My attention gets averted when I finally notice the sweet smell coming from the kitchen downstairs. I'll have to face her anyway, so I might as well face her now, no matter how nerve-wracking it'll be. It's inevitable. I can't just stay up here forever, as much as I would like to. I wearily make my way down and find her drizzling honey on some homemade French toast. She's also dressed, unlike her usual half-naked get-up at home. She notices my footsteps and greets me with her usual self. Good morning. I tried making French toast. It's pretty simple since I had to make do with what we had, but it's something. Go brush your teeth and get ready to dig in. I'm pretty proud of this if I do say so myself. I freeze on the spot, taken back by the normality of everything. I look at Hokuto and see her paying no attention to me as she focuses 100% on the plating of the French toast. I head to the washroom and get ready for the day as she instructed, but still wary and trying to gauge the situation. Doesn't seem to be an awkward vibe from what I can gather. She seems to be her normal self as if nothing happened last night. Is all this a dream? Did it actually not happen at all? Well, if she's acting like nothing happened, I'll gladly follow suit. That's what I wanted anyways, right? This makes things 10 times easier. If she's also on the same page as me, wanting to pretend it never happened. Perfect. Quickly brush my teeth with a lighter heart and start making my way back outside to the tiny dining table. The sweet smell of the homemade French toast travels throughout the apartment, making the whole place smell like a dessert cafe. I sit down and she brings my plate over with a fork and knife. You said it's nothing much really, but it still looks pretty delicious. Carve a piece out of the caramelized toast and take a bite. It's a little bit sweet for my breakfast preferences, but I can't bring myself to tell her that. It's pretty good. She stares at me eating, and I start getting uncomfortable, so I strike up some small talk to make things less awkward. Aren't you gonna eat? I already did. What time did you wake up? About an hour ago. Rare, I know. I got woken up by a phone call, suddenly told to attend a meeting by my manager. That's new. I'll be leaving about 10 minutes, so I'll be heading out first thing today. Is everything alright? I'm not sure. Something to do with my scandal. My company and I have been going back and forth the past few weeks about it. It's been tiring. I had no clue that was happening at all. Yeah, I mainly had the video calls when you were out, so it is a confidential matter after all. Never realized. I thought she was just fooling around at home the entire time. Probably a lot of things she hadn't told me or couldn't tell me. I don't know what the meeting is about, but it's mostly talking about the next steps or something. Might be a chance I'll be home late, so don't worry about making dinner for me. Feels a little weird. I've gotten so used to her living here that I forgot she's not going to be here forever. Past month felt like so long, but it seems like it's finally coming to an end. Appetite suddenly disappears thinking about it. Still, I continue cutting another piece of toast and force myself to eat. This could very well be the last meal she'll ever cook for me. Might as well savor it. Okito's phone goes off and she tucks it into her pocket. Oh, my manager's here. Okito finally gets up from her seat and makes her way to the door, but she trips on the dinner table leg, about to send herself to the floor. Ah! My reflexes act fast and I catch her in time before she scratches the pretty face of hers. Are you okay? It wasn't until her long hair falls against my arm and I realize our bodies are unknowingly melded together again, akin to last night. Okito looks up and makes eye contact with me for a quick moment before hurriedly separating herself from me. Hoku, I'll be taking my leave. She puts on her baseball cap, big sunglasses, and mask before stepping out the door, slamming the door before I can even reply to her. Have a safe trip. In a few moments, I hear the rev of a car drive off in the distance. I trudge back to the dinner table to finish my very sweet breakfast. The stillness of my apartment seems foreign all of a sudden, despite me having lived with it for the past 3 years. I pick up my fork and knife, and only the sounds of the cutlery scraping the plate and periodically dripping faucet keeps me company. It was always this quiet before Okito started living here. I've got to get used to this again. I try to clear my head and continue eating, but the plate of French toast stares back at me as I stare back at it, thinking about nothing but Okito. Lack of distractions in my apartment brings the memories of last night and the awkward incident just now. The way she pushed me away and ran out earlier, she definitely hates me after yesterday. That's so awkward. The thought of what went down last night then rushes back tenfold and causes me to cringe at myself for even allowing that to happen. I tried to kiss her. Why in the world did I try to do that? That could have ruined everything, but I still took the risk to try. Why? Was it because she didn't push me away? Because she didn't freak out and snap me out of it? Touched my upper lip where I made brief contact with Okito's lips and tried to recall the emotions. Both nerve-wracking yet exhilarating at the same time. What would happen if I actually went fully in and kissed her? A surge of feelings come up and my face starts to warm up, confirming my suspicions. Take a deep breath to cool myself down with my jumbling thoughts. There's no question about it. I can't deny it even if I wanted to. Over the course of the month, I've been seeing her every day, hanging out with her every day, greeting good morning, saying good night, coming home to her, dealing with her silly antics, hearing her sing, and everything in between. At first, it was an annoyance, but the more time passed by, the more I've unknowingly been charmed, and I think I've developed forbidden feelings for Okito. Realization is a blissful feeling. It's also intertwined with anxiety, remembering just who I'm in love with, Okito. In other words, Polaris, an idol. When it's a dating band, it should not be dating. Or it's like a roller coaster dropping down after reaching the peak of the hill. Even if I were to date secretly, I don't think it would end well. Nothing ever good comes out of hiding a relationship. I agree. Heck, I don't even know if she's into me like that. She didn't push me away, but she could have been too shocked to do anything. A guy trying to kiss her would have seemed at least somewhat more expected, but a girl trying to kiss her? She was probably shocked to the core. She could very well be pretending that everything is fine today because she wants to forget it all. Shit, I want to forget it all too. I ruffled my hair in frustration and tried thinking straight. I should just not say anything and pretend it didn't happen, just as she's seemingly trying to do. It should be fine to continue ignoring it. Yeah, sure. That'll go great. Just ignore her. Just ignore your problems, and they'll go away magically. I'm sure it's just a little crush because I've been living with her for the past month and some. The feelings will go away sooner or later if I do, right? I rush to finish the French toast to get the thoughts on my mind and toss the plate into the sink to start getting ready for work. Later that night. The sun has long disappeared, making way for the moon as I slowly make my way back home. The plastic bags filled with groceries slow my trip down some more, creating a numbing feeling as my hands as they dig into my finger. Let me read that. Let me read that a little bit better. Creating a numbing feeling in my hands as they dig into my fingers. There we go. I double checked to see if I had packed the tuna onigiri and cola soda into one of my bags. Thought I'd buy it for Hokido for old time's sake. She said she'll be out for dinner, but maybe she could have a midnight snack if she'd like to. My steps pick up as I imagine the goofy, excited smile she'd show after seeing her favorite snack. When I close the door of my apartment, I spot Hokido's shoes, signaling that she's home already, and I'm eager to give her a little surprise tuna onigiri. As I near the dining table to drop down the heavy groceries, I see Hokido packing stuff into a big bag. What are you doing? Minami-chan. Seems like she didn't notice me coming in. The bag is filled with the essentials I bought her, such as sets of underwear and the rest of her own clothes. Hokido looks at me with a pained demeanor, even though she should be happy with the news she's about to tell me. My scandal is cleared and contained. I can go back now. I think a few times to wrap my head around the news. I'm happy for her, but at the same time, I'm somehow feeling a pang of sadness on the inside. Oh, wow, congrats. Why didn't you tell me sooner? That's great news. Tried sounding happy, and I genuinely am. I don't know if it was delivered properly. She stays quiet and looks to the floor, avoiding eye contact. I just found out today during the meeting. Well then, it's all good now, yeah? It's good that the scandal cleared up relatively fast. Sure you don't want to be hiding for months on end. I guess. Goes back to packing her little things into the bag, probably given to her by her management. When are you leaving? Hesitant pause before Hokido replies in low volume. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Oh, that's so sudden. She entered in my life in a flash and will vanish just as quickly. Her gaze remains on mine as if she had something she wanted to say, but she resumes packing. The room goes quiet and stale, so I try to liven it up a little somehow, albeit not doing a good job at it. She's leaving my apartment. It's not like she's dying. I'm sure I can see her some other time. There's no need to be sad. I should send her off with a smile. I guess I won't need to deal with a freeloader anymore. And you don't need to hide anymore. You can go back to the world you belong in. Also, you're probably lacking so many nutrients by staying indoors this entire time. Hokido doesn't laugh. I was thinking of giving it some time before addressing the brief kiss, but it seems like I don't have the time to spare. I want to ask her, but would it even matter anymore? She'll be gone. She might leave on a sour note. What's the point? My brain knows that, but my mouth decides to run without thinking straight. There's something I want to ask you. She opens her eyes wide. What is it? Shit. My mouth goes dry and I freeze up, cold feet creeping in. The silence feels overwhelming, causing each second to feel like eons. Minami, say something. Do you need a ride tomorrow? You damn right I don't even have a car. Her expression falls flat with a slight tinge of disappointment to it. No, my manager's gonna pick me up. The heavy atmosphere drapes over us as we look at each other again. Then I'll send you off tomorrow morning. Once again, she holds eye contact longer than I expected before, finally looking away, placing her large bag near the sofa bed, making it easily accessible for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get ready for bed early tonight. She walks towards the bathroom door, and I dejectedly go put the groceries away after hearing the news. Before she leaves me alone and heads into the bedroom, she stops in her tracks. Apparently holding a small performance at Lily Mall next week, Friday afternoon. It'd be nice if you could come by. A performance next Friday? I'll see if I can. The bathroom door closes. I open the fridge to place the forgotten groceries. After putting away a few things, I come across the tuna onigiri and Cola Zero that got burned in the midst of everything. Maybe it can be her breakfast tomorrow morning before she leaves. Place the most visible fridge shelf and continue putting away everything else. The sound of Hokido turning on the bathroom faucet is heard, and it reminds me of how quiet it'll be without her. I have to stop being so sentimental about her. It's not like me. She's just a stranger that I have for the past month. But I've faced a stranger every day for the past month, and I might have fallen in love with said stranger because of that. I smack my head in frustration. How can I not be sentimental about her? And I can't even tell her about it. I let out a forlorn sigh, knowing I can't do anything. It'll be fine. It'll be over when she leaves, and I'll go back to the way it was. The next morning, Hokido places her bag next to the entrance, all dressed and ready to leave for when her manager arrives. I ended up gifting her my set of clothes I've been lending her. It's a souvenir or something. Double checks the bathroom to see if she's left anything else after I've finished brushing my teeth. Then she leans against the wall across from the burner stove and looks around the place, presuming to take it all in before she leaves. I myself lay my shoulder on the wall with my hands in my pockets, sheepishly standing next to her. So this is goodbye, huh? She tilts her head towards me and looks at me with her big magenta eyes. Doesn't have to be. We have each other's numbers. I'm only one call or text away. Probably be too busy if you're working, I'll know. I can find a way to make time. You're gonna have to fit me into your 5-minute bathroom break. You know I don't work 24/7, right? I shrug nonchalantly and give her a who knows look. Hokido sighs briefly and stands up straight, keeping her eyes on me. What I'm trying to say is I'll miss you and I want to keep in touch, you dense brick. Her sudden bluntness brings a chuckle out of me. I'm honored. Even in times like this, I still have the tendency to sound slightly sarcastic. Perhaps it's to ease the nerves. I'm serious. Just then I get startled by a sudden surprise hug. I freeze for a bit but relax fairly quickly and hug her back. Her chin rests on my shoulder and I can feel her shallow breaths tickling my ears. I'm serious too. Don't worry about me. We live in completely different worlds. You'll probably forget about me soon. Sounds especially pessimistic when I say it out loud. Then I'm gonna forget you soon. Do you have any last words you want to tell me? Hokido's words travel directly into my ear canal, sending a shiver down my spine. All I can do is stand there like an idiot, wanting to let it all out and tell her. Tell her I want to keep in touch with her. Tell her that I'm gonna miss her little antics and how annoying she was. Tell her how I'm gonna miss her humming throughout the apartment. Tell her to stay. Tell her I've fallen in love with her. But what use would it be even if I do tell her? She's an idol. Even if we were to date in secret, that's going to undoubtedly end in a disaster one way or another. I'm sure she herself knows that. And what am I to her? There's a high chance she doesn't even see me in that way. I tighten my grip on the hug and swallow all the words I want to say. I'll miss you. Her palms ball into fists against my shirt and I can feel them shaking slightly. She pulls us apart and grabs my arm, looking straight at me with solemn, damp eyes. Minami-chan, heavy moment between us gets cut short when the phone rings, signaling her manager has arrived. I'll come out right now. Hokido's grip of my arm loosens, so she takes a deep breath while looking at me one last time. I have to go. Take care. Her arms let go of me and hangs at her sides, walking to the front door. She slips on her shoes while grabbing her bag, and I quietly stand behind her to send her off. However, she suddenly freezes in her steps once she cracks open the door. She continues staying still, holding the door ajar. Could it be that she forgot something? Just then, out of the blue and in a flash before my eyes, she turns around and bolts towards me, finishing what I was afraid to do a couple of nights ago. Oh. Okay. The kiss lasts only a few seconds before she dashes out the door and I don't even have the time to react. I stand there speechless, touching the area she kissed. She hit just half my lips due to haste, but I can still feel it lingering like as a sort of burning sensation. All sorts of emotions swirl inside of me, making me unsure what to feel. Joy? Regret? Emptiness? I'm confused and overwhelmed so much I lose my footing and lean against the nearest wall for strength. What if I told her all that I wanted to say? Would she have stayed? I racked my brain thinking why she didn't tell me her feelings before leaving. But I know the answer already. She's an idol that's not allowed to date. Dating in secret would be a tremendous risk for her. There's no point in telling me because what would come of it? Nothing. I looked at the door she ran through and it fully hits me that she's not coming back. The end result wouldn't have been any different. There was nothing I could do. To collect and calm myself, I opened the fridge to grab some water to clear my chaotic thoughts. When I opened the fridge, though, why do I keep wanting to say tuna? I'm so sorry. The tuna onigiri sitting next to the bottle of Cola Zero mockingly greets me as I completely forget to give it to her before she left. Fuck. I closed the fridge door and run my fingers through my hair, still struggling to calm down. Why did she have to kiss me? Why did she open Pandora's box? If she hadn't, I could have gone about my day normally. If she hadn't, I could have just suppressed the feelings. So what am I going to do with them now? What can I do with them now that you're not even within my grasp anymore? I sigh a disappointed sigh and stare off into the ceiling as my brain shuts down. I wish you hadn't kissed me. But she's gonna go to the concert on Friday, right? Yeah? Get to see her again? The next Friday, let's go. Quickly slammed the locker door shut and rushed out of the convenience store without saying goodbye to my coworker. Grit my teeth and make a dash for the station, hoping to get to the mall slightly less late than if I would have walked leisurely. Fortunately, I wasn't able to leave early, so I hope I won't miss too much of the performance. Hokido personally invited me too, and I came and make it on time. I feel bad if I missed the whole thing. I should have asked how long it would go for. Why didn't I call in sick? Train promptly arrives to reach the station. I managed to catch it, hoping I'd be able to see at least a little bit of the show. Please let me make it in time. Just as I predicted, I'm late to the concert, arriving about 40 minutes after the start of the show. Practically run towards the huge crowd of people, trying to get a good spot, but since I'm so late, there'll be space at the very back where many heads block my view. Loud music blasts across the stage as the 5-member group dances and sings. Wearing stylish old white outfits that manage to show some skin tastefully, consisting of skirts, short shorts, boots, and heels. White makes their colorful hair stand out even more, emphasizing how they're the main characters of the show. Many of the people in the front row are cheering their names loudly in unison, a chant of some sort, showing their support and love for the group. I do my best to tippy toe and try to get a glimpse of Hokido. She's happily smiling, dancing, and singing alongside her members. Something I've never seen live. Being able to see it with my own eyes on sight is dazzling. It's nice to see her have so much fun, just like at her karaoke outing. It's great to see there are so many people supporting her and her group. Puts me at ease knowing she's not alone anymore. All 5 of them move in perfect sync, not missing a single beat in their dance routine. The group altogether is impressive, but my eyes keep locking onto Hokido, still unused to her stage persona. She moves effortlessly, all the while showcasing her charm and charismatic features, making everyone cheer loudly. Her vocals are stable despite moving around constantly, steadily singing her parts like it's no sweat. It's absolutely captivating, and my attention is enraptured by her. However, the more I watch, seeing her in this sort of environment makes her seem like a completely different person. Not in the way where it looks like she looks different than how she is at home, but she seems more foreign, further away from me than I thought, almost as if I'm watching a stranger. Feels a little scary. It really drives home the fact that we're from 2 separate worlds, and that I don't really belong in her world. Music ends as they strike their final pose, and the crowd goes wild for the girls. All 5 of them link hands and bow 90 degrees, thanking the fans for coming and watching. They take their time to wave the mass of people around for their farewells and slowly make their way backstage. At least I arrived before the show ended, even if I barely made it. They continue playing their songs in the background as they leave the stage, and the audience all slowly disperse, bumping into their dumbfounded self. I stand still looking at the stage where the various TV screens showcase the girls' group shot and their logo. Hokido stands in the middle of the others, while all of them looking coolly at the viewer, oozing the charisma. My mind still remembers the performance vividly and remembers just how bright Hokido shone on the stage, even if it was a small one. She's a natural-born idol, alright. I chuckled quietly to myself, realizing I really fell in love with an idol. At first, she felt close, but now she seems beyond reach. Maybe it wasn't ever meant to be in the first place. We crossed paths by sheer chance. Rather, I shouldn't have fallen in love with her in the first place, especially after knowing she's an idol. Seeing her perform live as Polaris makes me realize that these feelings have to die eventually. So today might as well be the final wake-up call. And maybe that's fine. I'll go back to my regular everyday schedule and she hers. It'll be as if nothing ever happened. Easy, right? Continue supporting her from the shadows just like today. I'm sure she'll be content with that. Besides, she already has so many supporters out there. She'll be fine without me. I sigh and shove my hands in my pockets, taking one last look at the photo on the TV screen. Hokido's image stares back at me. Or rather, the idol Polaris. Who knew I'd fall in love with an idol? I was never one to be interested in them in the first place. I always thought they were over the top, too pandering, but here I am harboring feelings for one myself. How ironic. I turn around and follow the rest of the crowd, stepping away from the stage and continuing with their day. That bittersweet feeling settling in, I start to make my way towards the exit of the mall and head home quietly with an empty head, trying my best to come to terms with the conclusion I've decided on. Two weeks later. After realization hit last Friday, it's been easier trying to get over Hokido, especially since it's been almost a month since she's left. Got busy, so I've decided to pick up guitar again. During the times I'm not working at the convenience store, I'm working hard to master electric guitar at a local guitar shop that offers lessons. Elves helps keep my mind busy and stops me from thinking about Hokido. Unfortunately, not 100%, as I still vividly remember her playing my electric guitar when she was here. We haven't really been texting much, as both her and I have been busy schedules. Me with learning guitar, going out with friends, working, etc., and her with her activities. The busyness helps me move on faster, but sadly, feelings don't die fast. Minor things still remind me of her, especially throughout the apartment. With the lack of contact between us two, I can definitely feel us slowly drifting apart. It makes me sad, but it is what it is, and it's probably for the better. One step at a time, Minami. You'll soon forget about her too. A message pops up. I think it's from my friend group, but my heart stops momentarily after unexpectedly seeing Hokido's name instead. Will doesn't want me to forget about her, apparently. Yeah, we don't either, obviously. Finger hovers over the notification. I feel apprehensive talking to her again. After a while, it's been a little while since we last contacted each other. However, my heart takes control and makes my finger tap on the notification, pulling up the screen of the conversation between her and I. Are you awake? Yeah, what's up? Want to meet at the park? I want to catch up. Also, can I just say that the phone animation, I think they've had this maybe like the past... Has it been the past two? They definitely started introducing that more. Like, it gets better each time, though. This late, it's 11 p.m. It's never any time during the day, and I probably shouldn't be walking around at that time anyways. We can probs just call each other then. I want to see you. Just those words get me riled up and my heart beating. Stop that heart. Fine, what's your ETA? What's your ETA? Okay, sorry. That immediately pops into my head. We're talking about idols and groups and stuff, and then you're gonna say, what's your ETA? And not expect me to sing along? I'm there already. WTFK, I'll try to get there ASAP. I believe you're there alone at this time, you idiot. Can't believe you're there alone at this time, you idiot. Immediately after sending that last message, I jumped to my feet as quickly as possible to get changed, practically running out of the house to make sure Hokido isn't in danger at the park alone. I'm out of breath by the time I reached the park area, looking around the dark for the idiot. I spotted her sitting on the swing wearing the exact same disguise I gave her. Her back is facing me, but I recognize those clothes anywhere. They're mine, after all. I approach her, but she doesn't notice me until I step right in front of her view. Minami-chan, do you know how dangerous it is to be out? Hokido leaps off the swing and attacks me with a tight hug, catching me off guard and by surprise. I also know how to react since I haven't experienced her hug in such a long time. Before I can make a move, she pulls away and holds onto my hands. She's just as touchy as ever, huh? Minami-chan, I missed you so much. Nearby lamps highlight her face subtly, showing me her sad expression. The feeling of joy rises in me. I try not to let it show too much, so I direct that energy elsewhere. Ruffle her hair and nonchalantly reply, "It's only been a month, buddy." She protests at me messing up her hair and grabs my hand to stop me. Hey, is that how you treat someone after not seeing them for a month? Maybe. I laugh and take a seat in one of the swings, and she follows, resuming her previous position. So, how have you been? You stopped texting me. She just had to get straight to the point, huh? Well, I've been busy. Busy with what? Finally picked up learning guitar again. Hey, that's great. I've just been focusing on that. But you're also booked and busy, right? You stopped texting me as well. Hokido makes a guilty expression in a dim light. I've wanted to text you, but it's hard to find time to take a seat and start a conversation. Things have been ramping up again, so the most I could do was send memes. I know, it's only natural that the text stopped. There's no reply as she continues staring down at the floor, still feeling guilty for having no time. I try to change the subject to liven up the mood. What are you doing here so late? Running away again? I just wanted to see you and catch up. You missed me so bad you had to come out at night, alone, just to see me? Yeah. It was a very quiet reply, but with just one word it causes my heart to skip a beat again. I take a deep breath to control my feelings. It's because you weren't there during the mall concert. I was there. I was just hidden all the way in the back. I only managed to arrive at the very end of it, and I couldn't get a good spot because I was so late. So I was there. Can't get mad at me for not being there. Oh, is that so? I was really hoping to spot you in the crowd somewhere, but I couldn't, and I was a little disappointed. But knowing you were there lets me rest easy. Sorry. I really wanted to make it on time, but my shift ended at 5, and getting there took another 40 minutes. No, it's really fine. You still managed to come see the last bit of it despite all that. It means a lot to me. Swinging slightly back and forth with her feet, while her gaze is still on the sandy playground surface. Neither of us say anything, leaving the squeaks of the swings to only sound echoing in the night. I don't know what else to talk about to continue the conversation, but it doesn't seem like Hokido knows either. I'm unsure if the silence is a comfortable one, and for some reason I feel compelled to get rid of it. I dig around my brain to figure out what to ask Hokido, and the only thing I've desperately wanted to ask about was the kiss she gave me before she left. What does she mean by that? Was it just her being touchy, or was it something more? Is this the best place to ask? If I don't do it right now, I might never get the chance. I could just leave it, but I really want to know. So my mouth runs off out of the blue again, fully committing aside. What did you mean by that kiss that day? Hokido freezes immediately and stops her swinging. I face her and see her hands gripping the chain swings nervously. After a long pause, she finally responds, but with a question instead of the answer I was expecting. Well, what did your kiss mean? Why did you try to kiss me that night? I get thrown off by the sudden question that shifts the focus onto me, leaving me at a loss for words, unprepared to be the one doing any answering. I try to recall my thoughts that night, but everything was such a blur that at the moment it was hard to put into words. Frankly, I don't know what came over me. It was initially an accident I crashed into you, but being so close to your lips triggered something in me. I don't know what it was at first, but after sorting out, I realized, spoke nervously before spilling the beans, afraid of everything that might come after. But I plucked up the courage to share my thoughts. That I like you. Romantically. Me trying to kiss you was my feelings taking complete control over my body. I pulled away at the very last second because I realized I probably shouldn't have done what I did. I thought I'd scared you when you pretended like nothing happened the next day, so I played along, wiping it from my memory. There's no way of knowing about how you felt about me, whether you were disgusted or if you reciprocated. I wanted to ask, but I was too afraid. I didn't want you to leave on a bad note. And since you pretended like it didn't happen, I continued to let what happened just be a mistake. That is until you kissed me. But it was already too late. My own hands tightened around the swing chains like Hokido's, trying to calm my nerves after having just spilled my feelings out. There's a long pause before Hokido takes a deep breath and spills her side of the story. Then you should know exactly what my kiss meant. Her dark, stern eyes land on mine, seeking out my emotions. The night when you tried to kiss me when we returned from the park, my heart was beating so fast I'm surprised you couldn't hear it. I distinctly remember our lips briefly touching and wanting more before you pulled away. It was at that moment I confirmed all the strange feelings I had whenever I was with you. Before that, I thought it was just me feeling ungrateful for you at first, but the more time I spent with you, the more I questioned myself. I was so confused, especially because I hadn't experienced love in so long. I constantly doubted myself, forcing myself to think it's nothing. She looks away, abashed and emotional. But every time you came back from work, every time I hung out with you at home, I was giddy with excitement. It took me a while to realize that these feelings were those feelings I felt so long ago. In middle school. Slowly I came to terms I kept feeling those emotions because I fell in love with you. But it's so frustrating. It's been so long since I felt this way about someone, but I couldn't even act on it. So I pretended like it didn't happen because I knew it was going to happen. With me being unable to date as an idol, more importantly having to go back into the spotlight. But that was all I could have done to show you that I have feelings for you too and let it out before I had to leave. I kissed you because I wanted to let you know how I felt, and before we might never see each other again. Hokido's voice trembles and steady as she tries to hold back her sobs. Tears are steadily streaming down her cheeks, and every time she wipes it with her sleeve, they just keep coming back. Even though we knew we couldn't be together, that's kind of cruel, do you know that? Sure, it would have hurt less if she didn't let me know that day. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. I guess it just wasn't meant to be, huh? That's why I want to try. I want to give it a shot. She fiercely stands up and towers over me, looking at me with her tear-ridden face and furrowed brows. Speechless at her sudden courage and stare at her in shock. She wants to try it out? I stand up to her level and wonder if she's gone out of her mind. You want to try secretly dating? Do you know how terribly risky that is? I mean, even if we do you know how hard it would be for both you and me? You had to have thought of that. Not to mention you just got out of a scandal. Do you want to get into another one? Hokido shrinks away from my harsh words and averts her gaze, clenching her jaws in fists. It's clear that she knows all the precautions, yet she's still willing to pitch the idea. Can't tell if she's idiotic or just plain reckless. But I'm not going to feed into her recklessness. I hold her arms and look her in the eyes, showing that I'm not joking around. Look, Hokido. I don't want you to get hurt and go through all that you just went through again. We only knew each other for a month. It's not that deep. You'll forget about me soon enough eventually. Her eyes were still on the ground, but as soon as I finished my sentence, she stares me down with a furious look. You keep telling me to forget about you, but tell me how I'm supposed to do that. All of a sudden, she grabs my shirt and starts jostling me with rage. I really tried. But you know, on my mind ever since that day I left, I keep thinking about you everywhere I go. I thought that going back to my activities would get you out of my head and keep me busy, but everything reminds me of you. I hate it. I can't but think of you no matter where I look. I like you a lot, never really thought I'd experience love again until you came into my life. She pulls herself close, resting her head on my shoulder longingly. So don't tell me to forget about you. Please, I don't want to lose you. I left speechless after her heartfelt outburst, but no words were able to form from my mouth. Words were full of pain, but it in turn hurts me too, learning how much she's been suffering because of me. She stays completely still while holding on to me, waiting for a response from me. I want to comfort her, but my brain is too disorganized to even try to find a decent reply in this tough situation. Dating in secret is not a good option. Dating outwardly is absolutely not an option. The only option is to go our separate ways. I'm sorry. Please think this through some more. We can't be together. There's just too many risks. I want to be with you too, but this is for you. We're from two different worlds. I don't belong in yours, nor are you in mine. Who decided that? She pulls away, her teary eyes shine in the dark moonlight. She looks exhausted and empty, broken, as if she's got no more cry left in her. Her voice was hoarse and barely audible, yet it seemed to echo through the empty playground where only the two of us exist. The question rings throughout my mind. Who did decide that? Me, because that's what's best for her, isn't it? It's the most logical thing to do. I'm doing this for her. Doesn't she understand? But that's the thing about, like, humans and people that make us different from animals. Is like animals think logically. Like, oh, there's a predator, I need to run away. You know, like they live off logic and instinct and things like that, right? Humans are more irrational like that. Maybe sometimes we live off instinct too, you know, just kind of reactionary. But we don't do things that necessarily always make sense. And I think that's what makes us human. Like, obviously we have certain standards, but sometimes you do things that don't make sense, and sometimes when they don't make sense, they end up working out better that way. You don't have that certainty of what the outcome will be going into it, but you try anyways. I did, because it's a fact. We lock eyes for a long moment full of unspoken words, knowing that saying anything more would lead us in circles. Hokuto is the first to look away, dropping her arms and breaking the physical connection between us. Then should I go back to my own world? Is that what you want? I swallow nervously, trying to say yes without sounding too harsh, as if I actually want her to leave. Because deep down, I don't want her to go. Just like on that day, I want to tell her to stay. But just like that day, I hold back my words. That sounded really poetic. I liked it. My throat stops me from saying the words as my internal battle happening. My heart continues, causing my brain to short circuit. Hokuto takes a step back and looks at me with a melancholic look. Well, the step was a small one, it creates a distance so far that I can already feel her slipping away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the inconvenience I've caused you. Sorry for being selfish. You're right. It really isn't a good idea to be together, but I just can't bear to lose you. Tears start rolling down and she's shaking from holding back her cries. I'll make sure not to call you. I'll make sure not to message you. That way, I'll be able to forget you just like you want me to do. That's exactly what I said I wanted her to do, but I hate hearing it, saying it out loud, because it's not what I truly want. She knows that. Wait, Hoku. I guess this really is goodbye. Without even waiting for what I had to say, not that I could say anything, Hokuto turns around and starts sprinting into the darkness. On instinct, I grab her arm, unsure of what I'd even do after holding her back. Where are you going? Her head turns around only halfway, but I could still hear and feel the impact of her cold words. Back to my world. The words from her mouth sting me brutally, hearing it come from her. She delicately slips out of my hold and continues on her way, gradually getting farther and farther away from me. Was this really the right choice? My brain is telling me yes, my heart is screaming no. But that's the thing, like, humans, we have different ways of thinking, right? Your brain, your logic tells you one thing, your heart, your desire to be maybe a little bit selfish tells you another, right? Like, I think it's normal for humans to be a little bit selfish. Not saying, like, you should be selfish all the time, but it's okay to, like, have wants and desires that are your own, right? Like, you don't have to live the way somebody else wants you to live all the time. Like, it's okay to have your own desires. Maybe even if they don't make sense, even if they contradict the logical side of you. Exactly what I wanted, wasn't it? This is the safest outcome for Hokuto. I watch as Hokuto's figure in the dark gets smaller and smaller, soon disappearing into a black car and out of my sight. And once again, like that morning, I find myself here, defeated and alone, uncertain of the emotions twisting within me. But it's over now, isn't it? It's over for real this time. Ah, but nobody likes this. Nobody's watching this right now. It's like, oh, okay, this is the ending I wanted. No, of course not. After that night, we completely lost touch of each other. Tried keeping up with Hokido and her group's activities. The more I checked in on her, the more it reminded me of what happened. Eventually, I stopped following her group as the feeling inside my chest felt worse and worse every time I saw her. We're completely gone. No messages, no memes, no performances, no constellation vlogs. The days pass slowly yet quickly, one by one as each season gives way to the next. Summer quickly shifted into a chilly autumn, which then faded to a bleak winter, before blossoming into spring, only to return to the devastatingly scorching summer once more, rinse and repeat. I myself have kept busy as I continued learning guitar seriously, eventually quitting the convenience store job for a sales associate position at a guitar shop. Pay isn't substantially better, but at least it's something I'm interested in. Though I can't say I do miss the free food from soon-to-be expired section, the convenience store and short commute. But at least it's a lot more chill here, and I continue learning more about guitars and learning how to play. It's a small shop, and it's quaint, and I made a name for itself among its regulars. Having more fun working here than at the convenience store, though I can't say I missed the little rascal Sora. She was actually crying when she found out I was leaving. Who knew the haughty little devil had a sensitive side to her? She couldn't have expected me to stay there forever, right? Over the course of two years, oh my gosh, we're doing a time skip. Hokido had slowly turned into a far-off memory of mine, which I've shelved into a folder and tucked away in a mental cabinet that would now probably be covered in cobwebs if it was real. I don't consider it a bad memory, which is why I haven't thrown the folder away. It's long enough to reminisce, sometimes smile back on it, remembering the good times. Who knew just a month's or so time would be able to impact me this hard? The spontaneous meeting started to a spark, but ultimately fizzled out. It was what it was, and it couldn't be helped. Although I wanted it to end differently, it's not something I'd regret. Hokido and I may never cross paths again, but I'll always cherish the memory of hers, even if we never get the chance to meet again. If this fades into the credits and then it continues on from there, peak. Okay, we'll treat it like that was the credits, okay? Or the manager's son put it. Move the heavy back boxes to try to look for the package that he said he left in the back. The customer that ordered it is picking it up today, and the manager forgot, and now I have to pick up his slack for misplacing it. Then he put it somewhere in the front. I swear, I thought I saw it. After looking around some more, I finally spot the tiny package that fell to the floor hidden among all the big boxes. There you are, you little troublemaker. Took a look at the name of the package as it catches my attention. Tokuho. It's a rare name if I've ever seen one. I put this on the front counter before I forget, and after I start putting the big boxes back in their place, I hear the automatic doorbell notifying the customers arrived. Dust my hands off my apron and briskly walk back to the front of the store to greet them, making sure to bring the package with me. Take a look at my watch. It reads 3:05 p.m. I find it a little curious. Interesting. Because I distinctly remember her pointing out that it was 3:05 a.m. right before, like, she had met Hokido. At this hour, it's usually empty since most people are at work or just getting out of school, so it's rare for anyone to come in, especially to such a small hole-in-the-wall shop like this. Irashaimase. I turn the corner and greet the customer, but I stop in my tracks as my jaw drops, my eyes widen in disbelief, struck by the sight of the last person I ever expected to see. Who could that be? The girl standing in front of me has the same caramel-colored hair, just like I remember, but it's styled in a similar way, maybe a little shorter. She also has the same expression as I, astonished and frozen in place. We stare at each other for a moment, trying to register into our brains the person that we're looking at. Minami-chan? The moment I hear that voice, my body immediately relaxes and an uncontrollable wave of emotions comes over me, acting on its own. Hokido? She walks up to me slowly, still not believing her eyes that it's me. I myself don't believe it either. I'm tempted to touch her to check if I'm dreaming or not. Wow, you don't look any different from before. All sense of formalities fly out the window when I hear her cheekiness, and then me from 2 years ago naturally comes back and bickers with her. Way to ruin the moment. An infectious giggle travels through my ears, and a little bit of heat rises to my face. Sorry, it just feels like time hasn't passed at all. pass by at all seeing you again, especially since you look the same. Given an exaggerated, amused face, showing her I don't find it funny. It's not like you look that much different either. Wow, I never thought I'd see you here. At the back of my neck due to my nervous habit. Why am I nervous? Is it because I haven't seen her in so long? Did I forget how pretty she was? Or could it be that all that buried and suppressed feelings are resurfacing, erupting like a volcano? Oh yeah, I quit the convenience store and started working here a little over half a year ago. That's good for you. You did say that you picked up a guitar again, right? Makes sense that you're working here. How's that going? You should play for me one day. No way, I'm still not that good. Nonsense, I'll be the judge of that. To steer the spotlight away from me, I turned back to her, asking her about her life updates. Anyways, how about you? What are you doing out here? Can a soloist walk around checking out a guitar shop? Wait, a soloist? When did she become a soloist? What happened to Constellation? Wow, have you not been keeping up with me? I'm sad. She pouted slightly, showing me her puppy dog eyes, like I took away her favorite candy. Well, I was never one to follow idol groups anyways, and we drifted apart. Haha, I know. Her pout shifted into a bittersweet smile, indicating that she isn't offended and fully understands what transpired 2 years ago. I graduated from Constellation, decided to branch out on my own thing. It'd been a good 5 years after all. It was a tough decision. I knew it would be a long and hard road, but I decided to take a leap of faith. My members were all really supportive as well, though of course sad. Kind of reminds me of like, I know Blackpink hasn't like separated or anything, like they're still a thing, but everyone in the group has kind of started doing like their own solo songs, and I know Lisa is working on an album, and you know, obviously she just released quite a few songs from her already that are pretty good. And then Rosie's new music is really good. I've only heard 2 songs. I don't know if that's the only song she has out right now, but I've only heard 2 of them, and I really liked both. I mean, obviously Apatu was really good, and then trying to remember the name of the other song about being the only girl. Really like that one though, but that's just the group that comes to mind, where it feels like they're all kind of going solo. Like Blackpink is still a thing, I guess, but they're all kind of doing their own things as well, which I think they're all perfectly capable of doing. I'd like to see more from Jisoo though. Like she kind of released her one song, and then I haven't heard much from her since. And then Jennie, I know, has been releasing stuff. Luckily, a lot of fans still support me despite me leaving, so I'm really grateful for that. Definitely feels less suffocating since my schedule is much more relaxed compared to before. It's only been 4 months since I've been a soloist. Maybe I haven't faced the hardships yet, but I'm already working on a new single, and I have decently high hopes. While so much has happened in her life in the span of 2 years, I had absolutely no idea what was going on at all. That's really exciting news. I'm happy for you. We'll see how it goes, but I'm hopeful that this new direction will let me do more stuff and open more avenues. That's good. This conversation topic dies after a wave of awkward tension washes over us as we stand there, feeling uncomfortable and unable to find the right words, or rather overwhelmed by many words we want to say. Anywho, what can I help you with? Are you looking for a new guitar? No, actually I'm here to pick up something I ordered. I don't see a package under the name Hokido, though. Let me go take a look. No, I put it under a different name. Tokuho. Tokuho. Ah, a light bulb appears over my head as I look down at the small package in my hands. What's with you and rare names? Shut it. I tried coming up with a fake name and just put my name backwards. And then I found out that Tokuho is an actual name that someone has. Kind of surprising. I think she's a Japanese dancer or something, but I digress. I pass the package to its rightful owner and our fingers brush against each other, sending a small jolt of electricity through me. Pulls the package to her chest and stands still, eyes darting everywhere, while the stillness of the guitar shop surrounds us. Maybe I should make some small talk or ask her to catch up one day. But would she even have the time? I know she said her schedule's more free, but she's still a celebrity, no? Would she want to be in public? Does she even want to talk to me after I told her to forget about me? Is that too hypocritical and selfish? Screw it all. You go first. Both chuckle at our synchronization and breaks the ice a little, but the awkwardness comes back full force. You can go first. With the back of my neck and look to the floor sheepishly, nervous to ask her, do you want to grab a coffee or something after my shift? There's only if you want. You're free to decline, of course, but I thought that it's been so long, it'd be nice to catch up and chat. You probably don't want to be in public, right? Then maybe we should find some place that's more private or something. Maybe just scratch that idea. Lukito burst out laughing, interrupting my rambling, making me blush as I realized I'd been going on and on. Her laugh comes to a stop as she gives me that warm smile I never thought I'd see again. Yes, I would love to. Subconsciously take a breath of relief hearing her say yes, and all my nerves relax just like I finished an important interview. There's a small cafe I visit often that my friend runs, so you don't have to worry about my cover. We can go there. Sounds good. I'm off in an hour. Is that okay with you? My thumbs fidget as I struggle to continue the conversation, only to recall that I interrupted her before. Was there something you wanted to say? Was there something you to say something earlier? I'm really confused. I was trying to read that. I'm like, am I reading it wrong, or is the sentence read kind of weird? I was gonna ask you the same thing. I wanted to invite you out to catch up. Great minds think alike, I guess. And that I missed you. Hearing those words stuns me in place. The feelings come rushing back, happy to hear that she missed me just as much as I missed her, even though those feelings were buried deep under. I decided to tell her my truthful thoughts and not hold back. I missed you too. Regus play with the hem of her sweater. She gets restless, looking all over the place again. Okay, come back in an hour then. Yeah, in an hour. Cool, nice, yeah. Hokido clumsily turns around and heads to the exit, and I resume my duties to try to stop my heart from being so fast, from both the excitement and nervousness, which helps before opening the door. Hey. Turns around, meeting my eyes with a gentle glance. Do you think we can start all over again from the beginning? My work brain doesn't compute. From the beginning? Yes. What do you mean? Like this. Hokido approaches me and extends her hand for a handshake, her lips curling to a soft, sweet smile. Nice to meet you. I'm Hoshizora Hokido. Simple as that, huh? Flew right by my overthinking head. Can't help but smile back. Brings me to how we first met and how different it was compared to right now. We didn't even know each other's name from the moment we met. The first conversation we had was her telling me to hide her. 2 years really have flown by just like that. It really does feel like starting from the beginning again, except formally this time. It'd be different this time, and only time will tell where to lead us. And well, what's the worst that could happen? I reached out and take her hand, giving it a firm shake as we exchanged the handshake we've never had. Nice to meet you. I'm Tsukimiya Minami. Okay, now it's gonna cut to the credits, and then it's gonna have a little after thing, right? Yeah? Ah! We're just gonna do a little after thing. Oh, so we get to see her playing the guitar a little bit. Oh my gosh. Y'all are really making me read a lot, huh? Oh boy, alright, let's settle in here. Hello, thank you again so much for playing to the end of this little visual novel. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to have more fun with this, so I was worried about meeting expectations at the beginning. I thought this game would be longer than last year's, but this game is a little on the shorter side compared to last year. I guess it's a pretty fast burn. It's still somewhat of a slow burn. I would say it's a slow burn. Like, in a good way. Like, it's not boring. Like, a lot of things that are slow tend to just be boring. But, like, every moment feels like it's building up to something. And that's what I really have loved about every game. Is that it feels like there's a purpose. There's not a lot of scenes that, like, kind of waste time, per se. Like, everything feels like it's kind of building up the characters and building up their relationship. Like, it's all positive. Also, it's the first game where they technically don't end up together explicitly. Yeah, I noticed that. Like, if you're gonna end it here, like, this is a very different ending. It's not like, oh yeah, 2 years later they're together and you know, living their lives. It's very, very open-ended. So maybe if I wanted to use this open ending, oh, they're talking about it being open right now. I thought that was most realistic. I thought there wasn't enough build-up to warrant them dating, or even if they did date secretly while Hokido was still an idol, I felt like that would always lead to a breakup because dating in secret never ends well. So even if the game ended with them dating, it wouldn't feel satisfying to me. No, I totally get that. This ending's perfectly fine. Hence the time skip ending and finding each other again properly. Then up to the viewer's interpretation. But you heard it there first. They for sure end up dating after getting to know each other again, somehow or another. I point that as canon. You heard it here first. Okay, that's fine. It's fine if they leave it open-ended too, because it's always something they could like touch on in future games. They tend to do that a lot. All the characters with names have names related to the sky. Yeah, Sora means sky, right? Hoshizora, Hokido, Starry Sky, and Big Dipper, Ursa Major. Tsukimiya, Minami, Moon Palace, and South Beauty, Sora, Sky, Yoko, Sunshine Child. Okay. Hokido's stage name Polaris is North Leda, North Star. Minami is the South Leda of the South, kanji in her name. Hero's game was inspired by a lot of things, actually, from songs to themes to idol groups to the duality of certain idols. The list goes on. I think the whole story was kind of inspired by Jay Chou's song Waiting for You, and the whole concept of being in two different worlds. Maybe I don't belong in your world. The contrast between sexy and baby of Hokido was slightly inspired by Hawasa from Mamu. We love our little Hayegi. Hokido being the younger sibling, plus being in the leader's role, was inspired by Solar from Mamamoo. That name sounds familiar. I'm not familiar with it though. The song that Hokido sings from Minami was outside our lyrics to Johnny's Promise, which I think encapsulates their feelings for each other, and they ended up meeting each other again, finding each other again. I think the lyrics really fit the end of the game. I wanted to make a cover of the song and put it as the ending theme, but alas, I was not able to get a sync license. I really tried. The idols group Constellation was inspired by, is that 5? They have a more sexy, mature, older concept than, say, AKB48. which I was going to do at first. I wanted the gap between Hokido's baby side and her stage side to be more apparent. The singer that Hokido looked up to, KOA, is based off BOA. And the song that Hokido sang at Karaoke was Utada Hikaru's First Love. I like Utada Hikaru. Obviously, like anything from the Kingdom Hearts soundtracks are a banger. Perhaps I'm showing my age, there's also a few nods to some older games so you can spot them. As always, once again, thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you haven't already, please check out my previous games, of course. Like I said, I think there's the very first one I have not checked out yet, which maybe I'll get around to eventually. If you love this one, don't forget to share and spread the word. Thank you again. Hopefully me making a video on it is spreading the word, because I like them enough that I genuinely look forward to and want to play each one. So, and I think if I'm willing to do that, that's me saying that it's a good game and spreading the word. I feel like okay, this is words from the CEO, I should probably say before I start reading it. I feel like every new game that releases, there's more and more I have to say. Anywho, thanks for reaching the end of the game. Like I said, I would love one day if this was like a more grand scale. Just so, I don't know, just to reward the CEO and the artists, because I think they do such good work. Like I could see them making like a full-length game, and I'm talking about maybe like 10 hours. I think most stories after 10 hours just feel like it depends. Like you'd have to have a really big budget to go over 10 hours. As with every game, I feel like this one's a little choppy, especially in the beginning. I mean, I like the fact that each of these games is a little bit scuffed. Like I'm just gonna say that. Like hopefully that's not offensive, but like they're a little bit like amateur in a way. Like they're high quality, but they're amateur, and like that kind of adds to the charm of it. So maybe it wouldn't be better if they like actually had a budget to it. I'm assuming there isn't a budget. This is more like a passion project because they don't charge for anything. But I've always really enjoyed them. It makes me want more. Like it's good, and I'd be okay with it continuing the way it is. But like Team Anpim makes some really good stuff. I would love to see them like take on a more ambitious project and actually like put some more time. I know the writer. I follow them on Twitter. Like I always look at everything they post there. But it seems like they have kind of a busy life, which, you know, who doesn't? This game feels a little rushed, not gonna lie. I got consumed by web fishing, unfortunately. Is that the game where you like fish and just talk to people online? I think I briefly saw something like that. I don't know anything more than that. Then I had Moonbeel's solo concert in Montreal. Oh, okay. Struggle with writing the story, and I was always have had my doubts about the plot and storyline. What's new? Like things like, is this realistic enough to see even make sense? And I appreciate that that's your thought process. Is this realistic? Because I hate stories that seem like too far-fetched. Obviously, you have to make it a little bit unrealistic to the point where like you kind of force something that probably wouldn't happen normally together. just to make it interesting, right? Because nobody wants to see like a typical like whatever story. Like there has to be a little bit of drama or something that's out of the norm. But I like, for the most part, it does seem realistic in a lot of the ways without being like fantasy. Does it even make sense? Is this going way too fast? I think it's going way too fast. And like, yeah, there is moments I could absolutely say that, like, you know, staying at a stranger's house that you just met, and then her wanting to sleep naked was probably very unrealistic. Probably would not happen. It would probably be a red flag for anybody. But it's fun. It's not like too out there that I have a problem with it. We're enough of a build to warrant them being together. And I'm glad you went with this, because like it didn't feel like too forced. Like they've been getting close together and spending time. It didn't feel like too crazy. I was second guessing myself. I'm in my insecure era. Haven't you been in that? I feel like you've been in that. Hopefully getting out of it, but I digress. Tried to be more fun. Tried to have more fun with this, as I was worried about meeting expectations in the beginning. I still am in the end. I really like your style, so don't change. I'm always worried that the next game has to be a banger, else I'll disappoint everyone, but I have to remind myself that even though there are a lot of people who look forward to my games and making these games for fun and passionate about making them, I want to contribute to the Yuri community. Though it's hard not to think about not meeting people's expectations when there are people that like my games, look forward to each year's game, or am I just projecting? I mean, I'm one of them, so I constantly feel like I gotta outdo last year's game every year, which I don't think you do. Like, I think people just enjoy your style, because it's not like a crazy Yuri. It's not like they're just constantly getting together, and I like the slow burn to it. And like I said, it doesn't ever feel like boring to me. Like it feels like there's like a good flow to it. Somehow managed to pump out 5 CGs in 10 to 12 days, which I love. The CGs are always bangers. Like I said, my only complaint with the CGs is that there's not more of them. That's really my only complaint. I would love to see more, because they're so good. But I enjoyed the ones in this. I definitely will agree with you that they were less ambitious, but that's okay, because like I still enjoy them just as much. Like definitely some of the past games had some really banger CGs, and like this one, I'm not saying they weren't good. It's just they were more tame, and I think that's perfectly okay. Bigger news: next year is the 10th anniversary of Team Anpim. Wow. Okay, 10 years. I know I've only been playing them for maybe, how long has it been? Like not that long, maybe like 2. Have I been playing them 3 years? No, I think it's only been like 2. Can't believe it's already been 10 years. I can't believe that at all. Feels like maybe 5, but 10 is insane. Someone could have played my game at 16-year-old and now be 26. Crazy. I got something biggish lined up to celebrate the 10th year anniversary, but I'm not going to promise anything. I already have an idea of what next game's going to be too, and I'm super excited to work on it. I'd like to try something different in the future too. I want to revisit a short story I'd written back in 2013 and make it into a visual novel. Okay, so it's probably not something I would have read if it's not a visual novel already. It'll be a bit darker. Okay, I like that too. Real talk, after next year's 10th anniversary game, I think I've come to terms I'm gonna slow down a little. No, see, I want you to focus on this more. But okay, I understand. You got your own life. I love making these visual novels, but dang, they take up a lot of time, and been wanting to focus on my art skills a little bit more. I haven't had the time to sit and experiment and practice for the sake of practicing due to so many personal projects such as this and others. Anime convention tabling prep every year. I think it's high time I went back to do that, you know. Sad, but it is what it is. I like to take it more slow and leisurely and probably just make one every other year. Been creating visual novels for 10 years. It's a long time. I think it's good to pause and take a longer break. Again, thank you for playing through this, and until next time. Oh, but that's sad. One more look at the bonus doodle if you want. Thanks for playing. Alright, we'll look at that real quick. Ah, but now it's over. So we're gonna get another banger next year for a visual novel for the 10th anniversary, and then we're not gonna get nothing the year after that, so it'll probably be like an every other year thing. Well, that's sad to think about, so I'm not gonna think about it. Anyways, though, Team Anpim once again releasing a really good Yuri novel. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys do as well. I do genuinely think these are some of the best. Like, they're not crazy expansive. The scale is not wild, but I like that it's like a 3 hour or less adventure that you can get through. I would definitely invest in a longer one. Like, if they had one that was like 6 hours and like actually told like a really detailed story, I'd probably read it too. But I do like that I can just sit down one recording and finish this. Like, it's been almost 3 hours. I can't complain. I feel like it's a good use of my time. It's rewarding in that sense. Like, I feel like, oh, I just had an experience that like changed my day. I was reading some of the reviews. I didn't really read like the premise per se, but I was like reading some of the reviews on the page as I was downloading it, and people were kind of mentioning something similar. So I just want to say, yeah, I felt that way too. Like, it just kind of like makes your day, you know. Just a great wholesome story that you can look forward to, knowing it's gonna be good. All right, I think I'm done talking. I think that's gonna be the end. Like I said, a little sad that they're maybe gonna be slowing down when I would like them to make something even more bigger, but you know, that's what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, we'll end it off here. Another great story, and I'll see you guys in the next one.